Good morning, good morning, good morning.
There goes the neighborhood.
And there was much rejoicing.
Didn't your meds kick in yet?
We got David Lefkowitz here. He's a Long Island arts guy. He's got his own radio show.
I want you all to really enjoy a wonderful program done by a fine artist.
A glorious thing of unparalleled beauty.
Dave's gone by. Dave is one of my very favorite broadcasters, so keep on listening to Mr. Dave.
Tropical hot dog night. Like two flamingos in a fruit fight. Every color of day. Whirling around at night. I'm playing this music so the young girls will come out to meet the monster tonight. Tropical hot dog night.
Well, there goes the neighborhood. Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, October 22nd, 2016, and we are here live, even though our miserable radio station isn't properly streaming at the moment. They're going to try and fix that. We're still doing an actual brand new episode of the Dave's Gone By radio program of the air. It is our 579th show. So although nobody's actually listening right now, and we got a late start because we knew that our stream was down, so it is 9:39 already in the morning, Mountain Time, that we're doing this. But it is Saturday morning, and we are doing a live show, and we are going to put this on the interwebs within a day or so that if you missed it live, you can hear it now. We can blame not being here, or we can blame the stream on what happened across America yesterday with Netflix and Twitter and all these things, these servers going down because of a kind of a cyber attack. So yeah, let's blame that and not the incompetence of the radio station.
If you insult people, David, you're not going to get anywhere.
Look where I've gotten, and we're half a year through the semester, and the
but
radio
you know what?
station doesn't work.
It's still here, honey.
Yeah,
it's still here.
Limping along.
Yes,
on like a one-legged dog,
like a one-winged dove.
Well,
you sing it, honey. Do your Stevie Nicks.
On the wings of snow.
No, not that. Like a one-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, ooh, ooh.
You know what? Strike that.
Don't do the Stevie Nicks.
I'll tell you what. If you're good, I'll get you a cupcake.
Oh, they have what, cupcakes, sir?
Sometimes Mojo's not open, but they might have cupcakes. They might be open for. They have those little
I'd rather have a bagel.
Up. Oh, I'll get you a bagel.
Wait, batter up is all the way up? Or they move?
No, but their cupcakes are sold at the Mojo. Those are
really?
The cupcake I get you all the time that you like. They have a butterscotch one, an Oreo cookie one.
I like that Oreo one. Yeah. I like me Oreo cupcake thing. So, ooh. So if I somehow manage not to insult people, which you know how tough that is for me. If I manage to do that, old Dave might get a cupcake out of the deal. Maybe worth it. Possibly. Anyway, we're calling this episode of the show INTERNOT because we're not streaming live at the moment. And also, really, all of America was having terrible internet trouble, especially apparently on the East Coast, sweeping up well into the Northeast of just, what was the thing? This hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of computers.
Oh, the
DDoS. What is that?
No, it's not. It's DYN. So.
Oh yeah.
It's something that. Okay, we have a very techie admin, and she explained to me it's the thing that communicates from the website to the server, and says people are trying to log on, you got to get your stuff together. So it prevented the people who were typing the website from accessing the website through a server. So it couldn't bring up the website. It couldn't. There was the intermediary guy broke down. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was an attack. It wasn't just an accident.
Well, yeah, and then there are many sites that are done, and one of it is a political party site, so that they think it might have been that. They don't know what the attack was. Yeah.
Incredible.
It hit many. It hit like Starbucks, like a bunch of sites.
Oh, no, not Starbucks.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, no, Twitter, Netflix,
they
Amazon.
They
had,
don't know who the main target was and who was collateral.
Oh, wow. Well, let's just say our radio station was collateral damage of the internet sweep and not our inability to pay the bills. So, we're here, but we're not here, but we're here. And we're going to do a pretty regular radio show here on the Dave's Gone By radio program of the air. Streaming, or not, from the University of Northern Colorado in Greeley, Colorado, on sometimes uncradio.com, but always, at least in the archives, via davesgoneby.com. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. That's my darling and adorable wife, Joyce. Hello, Joyce.
I'm making my plans, dreams, and schemes.
I see that. Is this about your trip, or is this about the Japan article, or what?
This is about Japan.
Ooh, not that you get to go to Japan. That's what sucks about being an academic. You don't even you get to write about stuff, and you don't even get to go there.
I can't go there because of my flight sickness. I'd have to be on so much drugs going there. It's like 2 days of flying.
Or maybe break it up. So you stay in another city for 2 days, and then you fly.
I'd have to go like to so many countries. I hate when Natalie and I went through customs in Amsterdam. She had one big suitcase. We had to recheck ourselves in like 3 times.
Okay,
we were let off at the
annoyance.
tarmac. It was. I'm surprised we made it to Gothenburg. It was.
I know, but it's not something you do every month. I can imagine a world traveler, but once every couple of years to have a bit of annoyance going through. I see it. It's a pain in the ass. I'm going to JFK in a couple of days. I'm not looking forward to doing DIA and then going through the nasty women in JFK who check your stuff and. The waiting and the time.
Yeah, but I love JetBlue Terminal. I always go there. I go to the little mochi shop. I go to the bookstore. There's a Starbucks. There's cute little stores there.
Yeah, I mean, you're a girl. You like that sort of shit. I just want my internet working, and then I'm kind of okay. But, I don't look forward to it. But going to Japan? So you fly to California. That's a short hop.
If I ever get a sabbatical, I want to travel, do international work.
Yeah. And remember, being here in Colorado as opposed to New York where we lived all our lives, that shaves about 3.5, 4 hours off the flight anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So now would be the time. Let's go to Japan. Let's just go.
It's a little bit costly, honey.
Is it really? Oh, all right. Let's go, I don't know.
Unless you do Minushkin and you do some kabuki theater, we ain't going to go.
How about Burkina Faso? Probably pretty cheap to go to Burkina Faso. No?
No.
I'm proud to be an asshole from Burkina Faso. I have no idea what I'm saying. Anywho, Dave's Gone By radio show, number 579, kind of ad hoc, kind of makeshift, kind of put this one together last minute just because I didn't even think I'd bother to be doing a show today. Just because of all the technical difficulties here at the station. But I thought, why not? It's one of the few things in the whole world that gives me some level of joy and pleasure in this universe. Yay. So why not?
And the weather. You always have the weather.
I'm going to do the weather.
I see you have the weather up right now.
I do indeed.
You love the weather.
And I love Bob Dylan, so I'm going to play some Bob Dylan music.
I think you have to refer to him as Nobel laureate, right? Or Nobel.
He's not accepting it.
What's the appropriate title?
He's a Nobel laureate.
Except professional title.
Yeah. But they're all pissed at him now.
Why?
Because Bob Dylan won the Nobel Prize last week for literature, which is one of the most major awards you can win anywhere in anything, right?
Or you can get a crown at Burger King.
Ooh. Yeah. They gave me a little ring once, like a paper ring, but I never got the Burger King crown. So I'm not even special enough for a Burger King. Actually, I really have gotten a Burger King crown. It was I wore it for weeks.
I know. I got you an inflatable crown on your birthday too. You have that somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. You liked that for a while. You were wearing that.
Well, it deflated eventually.
You can reflate it.
I will. I will blow it.
So what's the big thing about Bob Dylan now?
Well, he won this prize from a bunch of Swedes out in Oslo, and he has yet to acknowledge whether he's.
It says Bob Dylan's Nobel silent. Oh, the BBC's back up. They weren't up yesterday either. So it says there's a bunch of clothing, apparently entertainment and arts, and then it says Bob Dylan's Nobel silence, impolite and arrogant. Bob Dylan's failure to acknowledge his Nobel Prize in Literature is impolite and arrogant, according to the body that awards it.
Because the Academy can't reach him.
Yeah. Why not?
Because they've got several phone calls to him, I guess on his voicemail or something, or to his management. Yeah.
On learning she'd won the Nobel Prize in 2007, having returned from doing shopping, Doris Lessing responded, "Oh Christ."
Oh, God. But Dylan hasn't said whether he'll show up to get the award, hasn't said really thank you. He put it on his website, bobdylan.com, for like a day or two, calling himself a Nobel laureate, and then took it off.
That's weird.
So and I imagine he has approval on what happens on his website, even though he's not the one there coding and going, I wonder if I should do new WordPress.
An unprecedented snub.
Yeah. So who knows? He's Dylan. He's Dylan. He gets into moods. He's ornery. That's him. Still doesn't affect the quality of the music and what he's done to deserve the Nobel Laureate Prize. So we play a little Bob Dylan every week here on Dave's Gone By.
Let's see if it's on there. You said it's on his website. Where
It was, and then they stripped it. So look on the homepage. There it is.
That's the homepage.
So the homepage is obviously promoting his 36-disc upcoming live set. He's on tour. He is roaming around touring, doing stuff. He did play at Old Cella a weekend ago with all these older, and make a huge paycheck for doing so. But yeah, somewhere on there.
I'm going to search here.
Yeah.
Nobel. Nobel?
Yeah, that's how. No.
No.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing there. There's no bio link, right? There's no. Yeah. So anyway, that's why the Nobel.
The bio be store, art, books, songs, albums, tour.
Maybe news is, or yeah.
I did news. It wasn't up there.
I mean, I have a bit of an ego. So if at some point I win the Nobel Prize for peace or literature or anything, I would go on my website. I would probably put up a
Load more.
Yeah, in a small font.
Whoa.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not there. He took it down. That's what they're.
He's got little drum boy and must be Santa, but he doesn't have.
But he doesn't have the fact that, hey, a bunch of Swedes told me that I'm a very good songwriter and poet and writer. Oh well. Anyway, so I'll be playing some Bob Dylan as we do every week here in the neighborhood. We're going to celebrate the 30-something anniversary of the release of Infidels, which was the first of many comeback albums by Dylan. It was his first album after the so-called trilogy of Born Again gospel-tinged records that he did. He did Shot of Love in 1981, and then 2 years later came back and did Infidels, which, at least for the first half of the album, is pretty damn good. So we're going to play some Bob Dylan songs from Infidels. Yay. Also on the program, we're going to have a would have been, what is that?
I don't know. It's a woman wearing a thing on her head. A watermelon or an arc or something. Steve Schwartz.
It says more Meshchia, but it doesn't. I have no idea. Joyce is surfing the.
Link has nothing to do with her. Okay, that's good.
That's wonderful.
Okay.
Anywho, can you stop the iTunes also? Let's just hit the play. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. So, also on the program, a would have been birthday Saturday segue for Ted Hawkins, who died. I can't believe Ted Hawkins died 21 years ago, but and this man who had a pretty miserable life.
Oh, is the name INTERNOT? That's so clever.
Yes, I said that.
I forgot that. That's very funny. I didn't get it until I saw it. That's
yeah. Right. I've got a brain.
It's not like the Wretched Pun of Destiny, but it's pretty darn good.
Well, thank you, darling.
I'm going to look up what it means. INTERNOT?
INTERNOT. That could be a new neologism that I created. INTERNOT. Because what was the one that they had just a week ago? I heard a new...
Interwebs. Interwebs is what I call it.
It's already in the Urban Dictionary. Somebody's already thought of it.
Wow.
Not having full access to the internet, which is what America had yesterday and we're having here today at the station alone. But, yeah, I thought it was so clever. Yeah.
You are.
Well, also, what was the thing that they were talking about the previous Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton debate on one of the news channels. And they were swirling up all the different problems and controversies and things that Trump was having and not having, Hillary was having. And one moment, please. And then they called it, you know what the word was that they used?
INTERNOT?
No, they used, this is so brilliant. What? When something looked like it was going to be a big tempest, and it was a tempest in a teapot and a big nothing, it was a non-traversy.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that a great...
Is that a real word, too?
I don't know. That might be an Urban Dictionary, or that might be a neologism.
I think it's probably made up already.
Non-traversy. But that's great. I like INTERNOT, too. So
I like the interwebs.
So Joyce has found on the computer this thing about DYN, the thing that went down yesterday, which is sort of that intermediary...
It's like do it yourself, DIY. It's the opposite.
Yeah, right. Do you not?
I'll tell you here.
It offers DNS management services and other traffic tools, but it was hit by a distributed denial of service attack. Yeah. Because I knew I had trouble getting my mail yesterday. Yeah. I was trying to look for German animal porn. I couldn't find it, which was terrible.
There's another attack underway. It says, look.
Yeah, there's that DDoS thing. Against infrastructure, my brain is already short-circuiting with this. Our engineers continue to investigate. Yeah. So look where it hit. Doesn't even mention Colorado.
It didn't hit. Well, I saw a thing in Colorado a little bit. It did show Colorado. I saw Colorado. Look where it hit Newark.
Newark, New Jersey, Chicago, Seattle. So it hit the coasts. That's interesting.
Oh, I saw another map yesterday that showed Colorado.
Yeah, I saw a whole swath of states that were affected by this. Anywho, the hackers strike me.
Look at that. It looks like a weather map. You should like it. Supervisión de Internet del Tiempo Real.
Oh no. Mierda.
Look at, I told you so. I warned you we were on the verge of attacks that could knock the internet off. There we go.
And global. So DDoS stands for Distributed Denial of Service. Wow.
Attack, but the DNY is a domain name system. It links the sites to the domain name.
So Spotify would have been affected, Airbnb, GitHub, whatever the hell that is, Reddit.
Where do you see that? Oh, wow, yeah. And a Twitter.
Oh, of course, Twitter. So if they can do this so easily, there's also a dirty...
You say it. I can't say it.
There's a virus going around called the Dirty Cow Linux bug. They say a silly name for a serious problem. Wonderful. No, but honestly, if we make fun of Hillary's emails and the WikiLeaks and getting all these emails and speeches and things. I mean, somebody's out there being able to take everything and bring down the interwebs. And it's not just one person. Russia may be doing some stuff. These home hackers may be doing other things. Just pure criminals working out of God knows what country are doing stuff. It's like, we this is the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see days when the internet is just down.
I believe it's called the interwebs.
When the interwebs is down. And, of course, when every single credit card in America will be stolen and be used. Some little piss-ass third-world country will go to having a gross national product.
We don't say third world.
You don't say third world. I still say third world.
Because we're idiots.
Joyce, that's because you're an idiot. No, this little country that has nothing in its gross national product will suddenly balloon to $180 billion because they've found two guys in a basement eating churros.
What I like is it shows that all you need to have is an intellect.
Well, a certain kind of intellect in computer hackery.
Yeah. Well, if you would have studied more computer hackery instead of going to the theater, look what you could have done.
It's true. I didn't have the brain for it.
You could have been a hacktivist. Hoo-hoo-hoo.
No, man, look at Bob Dylan. It's like Bob Dylan can win the Nobel Prize and write genius songs, but he couldn't do this. He couldn't bring down the interwebs. I probably can't code his own website. He has people do that for him. So it takes a certain kind of intellect, not just, well, be smart and you'll know everything. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Anywho, so we're gonna play some Bob Dylan. We're gonna play some Ted Hawkins on the radio show. We'll also have our In the News Saturday segue. You like those, where we'll play songs that have to do with stuff that's going on in the news and the world at large. And what else? Oh, and then we'll go inside Broadway even a little bit, because we're still in the thick of, we're getting into the absolute heat of the fall Broadway season.
Rosie O'Donnell, she got so skinny.
Yeah. Joyce is looking at some website where it shows celebrities who lost a lot of weight. So
I like that.
Ricky Gervais has gotten thinner. Chaz Bono, who used to be a girl, now looks like a man, and not as fat a man.
She looks great.
Yeah, well, Kirstie Alley, I think Kirstie Alley lost about, what was it, 700? Oh, my God. Oh. Wow.
It's just bad makeup.
No, I'm sorry. If Donald Trump looked at old Kelly Osbourne, he would not only not touch her, he would cut his dick off to avoid her. Holy crap. That's terrifying. I don't know who Angie Stone even is.
Maybe she's like Sly Stone's sister.
Oh, that'd be cool. Christian Bale, well, he probably gains and loses weight for parts. Yeah.
How do actors do that, David?
I don't know. Well, they go on special kind of diets. I mean, De Niro was the king of that when he was doing Raging Bull. And, first he had to be all muscle, and then he had to put on 50 pounds, which he did for the part,
Really?
Yeah. Oprah looks great, We're just looking at thin people who got fat and fat people who got thin. Like Tyra Banks really needed to lose weight. Nice rack, though. Anywho. Ow! I meant like her clothes were hanging on.
Good. So naughty.
Well, I would like you to concentrate on the show at hand, because we got stuff to talk about here.
Like what?
Well, even before we get to really crimes in old times. We have, first of all, a terrible, terrible natural...
disaster?
It is. Natural disaster in a way. What should we say? We know how thrilled we are that manatees went from endangered to merely threatened. Yes. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Now there is another species that is crossing into the endangered list.
The dugong?
No, God forbid, not the dugong. Oh. There's a species around Lake Titicaca, and I kid you not.
Where is Lake
Titicaca? Can you look that up?
You want me to look it up?
Just look up titties instead.
No.
Is it in America? I don't think so.
No, it's I think Brazil.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, you can click on that one.
No.
From Smithsonian. It's in Bolivia and Peru. Of course, it's Peruvian. Yeah. Yeah. So look what has happened. Can you read
I
this?
can't read that. It's too sad.
It's really... can you click that thing up there?
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. This is... Folks, grab your handkerchiefs. Grab your tissues. This is from the Smithsonian Institution. So this is real and very,
also,
very
while
sad.
They're advertising Cancun.
Of course. Well, yeah. Well, this is not Mexico. This is Peru and Bolivia.
I know.
Over 10,000 of the world's largest, excuse me, I can't effing talk. Over 10,000 of the world's largest
I'm good.
water frogs were found dead along the Coaga River, a tributary of the heavily polluted Lake Titicaca. Now, it's enough that this lake is called Titicaca, which is the greatest name ever for any kind of body of water. It beats, like, Flushing Bay.
Flushing Meadows, yeah.
The Dead Sea. No, Lake Titicaca.
Or what about Maipú in Argentina?
Oh, I'm standing on Maipú, but that's not water. That's a street. But the thing about Lake Titicaca is it's filled with caca. Yeah.
Coat and the Cacachi Bridge.
On the Cacachi, this one, the Kaki Bridge. To the mouth at Juliaca on the shores of Lake Titicaca. By the shores of Titicaca.
No, look.
Well,
ew, read that.
Read the thing so that people know what we're talking about.
The second line.
Well, they don't even know what the first line is yet. Here, scroll up to the top, and let me explain to the the non-listeners that we have at the moment what we're talking about. So these 10,000 frogs have died. It's been a mass die-off, like lemmings. Yeah. Things aren't going swimmingly for the Telmatobius culeus. No, that's apparently the name of the frog. First, there's its common name. The frog species is known as the Lake Titicaca Scrotum Frog because of its loose skin, which draws in the limited oxygen of the lake waters. So it's not just the frog. It's not even just the scrotum frog. It is the Lake Titicaca Scrotum Frog. There's something so beautiful about it.
Whoa, look.
But you see, it's got this baggy skin, and that's why people equate it to looking like a scrotal sac. The frogs, which can grow up to 2 pounds, are already listed as critically endangered by the IUCN. It's
Let's adopt one.
Yeah. Pollution in Lake Titicaca, which is the frog's only home, and also trout have been eating all the eggs, have reduced the number of scrotal frogs by 80% in the last 3 generations.
That's sad.
It's not known exactly what caused the die-off, but, hold on, CNN reports that sludge and solid waste were found floating in the rivers. Pollution from Juliaca was the cause of the deaths. They're collecting water samples, blah, blah, blah.
Look at that, by Denver Zoo.
Where was that?
Look, the will be tested by Denver Zoo amphibian specialist Robert Elias and Enrique Ramos.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
it's still got a local lead.
I wish
maybe you could interview them, David, about the scrotum frog. You could interview them.
Not right now, but maybe next time I'm on the air.
Yes, them on to talk about. That would be like a public service thing, and it involves weather, right? And you like that.
And scrotums and shit.
Yeah.
And maybe, I wonder if they're not just collecting the water, but do you think they'll bring a frog, too, to the Denver Zoo?
Probably. They have garbage in the water.
I would love to pet a little scrotum frog. Since 2010, the Denver Zoo has been breeding scrotum frogs.
Where did you see that?
Confiscated from markets around the lake. The hope is to learn more about their biology.
Why don't we? You should interview them.
We should go to the Denver Zoo and see them in person.
Well, we could take some photos, and then you could interview them, and then play that interview on the radio.
Well, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. And just the idea of seeing a scrotum frog in person.
They're very cute in the picture. They're adorable.
They are.
Look at you, people. If you have access to the interwebs and you don't have any kind of interweb show, they have one swimming with his little arms out. He's adorable. I bet you he's for the Denver Zoo because he's in clear water. I'm going to do Denver Zoo scrotum frog.
Please do. There should be T-shirts like Denver scrotum frogs drive me nuts. Have a ball with Denver scrotum frogs. This would get people interested in coming to.
Go to the zoo like the zoo.
Yeah, well, yeah. But don't be a dick. Come see our scrotum frogs. Just thinking of some.
Look at this.
What?
Life science. There's a baby scrotum. Look at him.
Oh, he is kind of got a lot of that excess skin. But again, it helps them breathe in that crappy water. Hit allow. It's okay.
Okay. Look, honey.
Dying breed. Zoo toils to save strange scrotum frog.
See the Denver Zoo. That's a picture from the Denver Zoo.
Baggy skinned amphibians.
Look.
Wait, that's just a swimming pool. That's not a.
Okay.
That ain't no scrotum. No.
That's a lady swimming. Save the frogs.
Oh. All right, they're not always that cute.
He's a.
Oh, and the Denver Zoo has a tank of them.
I know.
We must go see the scrotum frogs in the Denver Zoo. Oh, wow. And thing about scrotum frogs, the nice thing is they do reproduce quickly because women like them. You know why?
Why?
Because they're good in the sack.
Wah.
Oh, I have a machine. It's in. Where's the thing?
I don't know.
Somewhere. Anywho.
Tell the people what you're going to do on the show today.
I did already. When you were looking at fat people turning thin, I was telling them.
I was trying to find weather for you.
Well, but wait. First, we're talking about the scrotum frog that is killed, that mass die-off in Lake Titicaca owing to all this pollution and shit in the water.
Environmental pollution.
Which leads us to our next topic.
What's that?
Shit. We're going to talk about shit.
God.
Now, my dad, poor dad.
We like to call it feces.
You
That's
like to call it feces.
I'm gonna look
Dung. Yeah. Find out some other euphemisms or other words for shit. So we have awful, dung, crap, poop, poo. What else?
Animal droppings.
Dingleberries. Diarrhea. Look at that. Oh, there we go.
Oh my God.
Turds, of course. Feculence. I love feculence. Black banana. Ass kebabs. Oh, this is... Remember we did this for vomit one time, many, many years ago.
I don't...
Anal snakes. Which was, by the way, submitted by someone named Captain Howdy. Anal snakes. Body wax, booty cakes, bowel movement, of course. Brown balls. There you go. Orky. I never heard that. Brown dildo. Brown hot dog. All right, they kind of do a lot of the brown stuff. Brown fudge, bun fudge, and bum nuggets. Oh, these are wonderful. Calabasas, chocolate exports. That's a rather nice euphemism. Was it shit? Or chicken? Chicken pecking out of one's butt. There we go. That's pushing it a little bit. Chewbacca chunks. That's kind of nice. A cigar. A cigar fish. That's just horrible. Corn porphyry.
Cupcakes.
Cupcake. Really? Cupcake?
Digested Crayola box.
The French have crotte. Crotte. A doodle, a doogie, a do, a dollop. A dumpad.
Dunkin' Donuts, somebody called it.
Drek from Yiddish. Droll from Dutch. Easter bunny's present. That's kind of cool. Fecal pellets. Remember the word fecal.
What about flabby chunks?
Ooh, that's not. Floaters, for sure. Fudge. Glitch. Never heard that one. Googe.
Grunties. That would be oofties.
Grunties is good,
Yeah.
yeah. A hawky.
Candy.
A hymno. That's Ukrainian. Hoffenmischt. Huh. You figure, well, Germans also did Scheiss. Intestinal sculpture. That's good. Jungle bug. A quiche. That's Glasgow.
Kakashka.
Kakashka. Yeah. Oh, wow. She's rushing for pieces of poop. Kakashka. Although there was a painter named Oscar Kakashka. I wonder...
He probably made it, yeah.
Oh, merda in Italian.
What about
Mess. McShits. What else? Something Mongolian there. Monglin cluster. Poopy doobies. That's cute. What else we got here? Product of Uranus. we knew that one. Poo-poo. Rectum warriors. Race time. I don't get that. Race time. I guess race to the finish. Pudding. Puddingtane. Pung. A toilet twinkle. A tinky winky. What was that?
Tutti.
Oh. Yetto, yit, and yucky. And then to go even further, this website has a list of shit in the verb form. So this is two shit. And some of these are going to be wonderful. Bite a train. Bite a train. Back the brown caddy out of the garage. Busta grumpy. I love that. Busta grumpy, defecate. Dirty one's diapers, dive bomb, doodle, do business with John. Very nice. Down the periscope. Drop a brick, drop a chalupa. We've heard that one. Drop a stinky log. Drop a dead grandma. That's lovely. That's just charming. In droldralen, which is from the Dutch. Flunkadunk. That's pretty good. Flunkadunk. I like that. Go stinky. Go to the library. Hey. Help out Dunkin' Donuts. Kakat. Lay a turd. Lay pipe. Lay a deuce. Molding action figure. That's quite beautiful right there. And people could be this creative about everything and not just...
I like Sprout a Tail.
Sprout a Tail? Let's see. Squat and push. Take a diggy. Oh, that's good.
Unhitch a load.
Torque a wicked cable.
Oh, no.
Talk to a man about a horse. We knew that one. And yell at Mrs. Johnson. And, of course, William Shatnering. God bless them. God bless the ingenuity of people to come up with phrases and euphemisms for going to the bathroom.
They have about diarrhea.
Well, diarrhea, yeah, that's going to be...
What's that one?
Oh, these are about animals.
Animal
Yeah.
droppings.
So you've got...
Very informative site.
I love it. And if we're talking about specifically dingleberries, you've got conker bells, mustangs, and constipation. No, that's not good.
No.
If you're constipation, it means irregularity, logjam, papa being in the forehead poopy, rectal congestion, redwoods. I don't know where that comes from. And then miscellaneous poop-related terms. This is a website, by the way, called Heptune.com, Heptune, Heptune.com. So if your interwebs happen to be working, you can go see Heptune.com. But this is why, okay, you want to read some poems? Mamma mia, Papa Pia, baby got the diarrhea. Mama said it wouldn't hurt, so Daddy ate it for dessert. Oh, that's very cute. Circa 1984, apparently. Diarrhea Bum Bum. This is another poem on this website. Not perhaps written by, what's his name, Tom Green.
It's
too long. It's very long there. Although a lot of people contributed to it in different ways. It's a very long song there. When you feel... Wait, okay, hold on. We're scrolling through this enormous diarrhea song. Diarrhea, diarrhea, you can tell by the smell that you ain't feeling well. Diarrhea. I smell diarrhea. Cha, 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 cha. Yum, yum, bubblegum. Okay, here we go. This comes from Newfoundland, also submitted in 1983. Yum, yum, bubblegum. Stick it up the baby's bum. When it's brown, take it down. Yum, yum, bubblegum. Hun, that actually dovetails into what we're going to be talking about. See, this is all as a prelude to what my father, for real, no joke here, unfortunately, has been dealing with for the past 2.5, almost 3 months now. He was having terrible issues with with paper tissue. He was having to make diarrhea a lot. And he's not a man who gets around very well. So it's a terrible thing for him to have to go a couple of times every hour, not to mention painful, ultimately, and going through this diarrhea thing. Eventually, they're giving him Fortiflora and things for his stomach and trying to give him... and you want to tell the backstory of why dentists should all just be shot? Not to mention doctors?
Not dentists, no. That years ago they used to believe that you take prophylactic antibiotic for treatments. If you had things like mitral valve prolapse or other conditions, they would give you a high dose of antibiotics prophylactically before a procedure. Now they don't do it anymore, but the thing is sometimes, like everything, medical boards, dental boards make decisions, but different groups are slow to catch on, right? Not everybody reads and catches on. But you shouldn't, I think generally, you check with your doctor, but they don't do that as much as they did anymore because what they're finding, and this goes back for me like in the 80s or 90s, I forget when, I was an intern with the Department of Health and we looked at drug-resistant TB. And even back then we found out that inconsistent antibiotic use, the bug, actually the bacterium for tuberculosis and other related diseases, it became immune to them, kind of. So years ago you could give this certain drugs and kill TB, and then you got super strains who ate that antibiotic and made resistance to it, and then you had to get massive drugs that were worse that people didn't want to take because they have worse side effects. And that happens, you get drug-resistant strains of a lot of things. So years ago, everybody got antibiotics if you had the sniffles. But a lot of people would feel sad if they didn't get a prescription. But now, really, antibiotics are only when you really, really need them. And if you have a viral infection, they're not going to help. So I think the problem is that old logic of giving people prescriptions for stuff and antibiotics can really be dangerous. If you live a long life and you're taking inconsistent antibiotics or large doses for stuff, it's not always good. So you got to be smart about it. Yeah.
So my dad's idiot quack doctor
don't know what this full story was.
True. So I can be like Donald Trump and not knowing the actual story. I can say my dad's idiot quack doctor.
Know because you could also get the same thing from contact. So the way that you get it, you get it from bacteria use, or you could get it. you could also, not bacteria use, antibiotic use, but you could also get it from health providers who don't clean their hands.
Well, that could be
so
too.
we don't know.
Well, here's we haven't actually said what he had yet. So he's had this diarrhea, and he's trying to deal with it. Gets a little better, then it gets a little worse. Gets a little better, gets a lot worse, etc. Finally, they properly diagnose him. And I didn't mention that he was going in for some dental work. This is what started this all. This one has what is literally for the past 2 months ruining my parents' fucking lives. Okay, he goes to the dentist, and the doctor recommends to the dentist, and the dentist agrees that he should take antibiotics before he goes to the dentist, because here's an old man, he's got a lot of issues, and dental work, there might be blood involved, you want to be careful. So he takes this antibiotic, and what do you know? Within a week or two, he's got terrible stomach problems, terrible diarrhea problems, getting better, getting much worse, getting a little better, getting much worse. Finally, they diagnose him with this disease called C. difficile. And it's like the letter C. C stands for something longer. I forgot what. Do you remember?
Clostridium. Say it. I can't.
Clostridium difficile infection.
It's an anaerobic organism.
Yeah, I mean, what happens is the antibiotic goes into your belly, and
Not the antibiotic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the antibiotic goes into your belly, and it starts killing.
Oh, you saw the video. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you've got all this bacteria in your stomach that breaks down food and makes you poop properly.
No, but that's your intestine.
Sorry, in your intestine, right. So the antibiotic goes in there and starts killing bacteria. It kills the bad bacteria. It also kills the good bacteria.
Oh, they're trying to generate a vaccine.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, that's good.
But here's the deal. So he gets this infection, and this is not just a little, like you get a cut, it gets infected, that's bad. This is an internal infection that really messes up your system. It kills the good bacteria in your belly, and you start getting dehydrated, and you start getting unable to hold your food. And of course, if you're shitting 3 times an hour every hour, it's painful to do. And then his white blood cell count starts going through the roof because he's got an infection inside his body. So eventually they have to put my father, this is about 3-4 weeks ago now, in the hospital with this C. difficile infection. It kills people.
It's called C. diff.
So they
That's its rap name.
I got the C. diff because, what rhymes with diff?
Spliff,
Right, yeah.
piff, poof, spoof.
Don't give my ass a whiff, cause it smells like shit and I'm full of it, So he's got the C. diff in there. He's in the hospital. Not only that, he's got to be. First, he spends like a day and a half in the emergency room because they can't find a fucking room for him.
That's
right.
normal in today's hospital
I know
system.
that. I know. Welcome to American healthcare and Obamacare. So
it's not that. It's not. This is David. I was working in healthcare years and years ago. This has always been the way. That when you live in a system that's based on money and insurance, and those things, it's not based on the Affordable Care Act. This predates it.
Well, yeah. Everybody knew emergency rooms are.
Yeah, and the fact that we don't have, but even in systems like Sweden or Canada, where I've been and looked at the healthcare system, they have waiting lists and queues as well.
Oh, if this were Canada, Dad would be outside on the front porch shitting for 4 days before they let him in the building.
If this were him, he would have better home care. He would have, maybe. he would have had interventions that prevented it from getting this bad.
You think?
Yeah.
That I wonder.
There's wellness. There's
by the time he would have gotten to a doctor to see about the initial condition, it would have sent him to the hospital too.
Even in this country, so what you can do, like whenever you get hurt, I call our insurance. They have a 24/7 nurse hotline, and they'll go through a little flow chart and they'll tell you need to do this. So if you do that, they will refer you to the right place.
But the thing is, the last line on every list that they give you is go see a doctor. Everything they tell you is still go see a doctor.
Yeah, but with something like that, I mean, obviously, I don't know.
But it was a big deal, and he had to be also in. What's the word? Not solitary confinement. What do you call it now?
Infection control. He had
isolation. Because he was infectious. It's an infectious disease. You can catch it.
Well, you're not supposed to use the same toilet with people who have it. Yeah. And if you touch their stuff, you're supposed to wash your hands really well. I do it all. When I went and saw my mother in the hospital, I washed my hands entering the room, leaving the room, and I used the that gel, like the Purell kind of gel, because I know, trust me, I worked in hospitals. People, there are germs everywhere, and then people are sick.
Yeah. And then your mom wasn't infectious. She just had some breathing.
Yeah, but she had a lung thing. So if you give a lung thing to someone who has an infection, to someone who has lungs, lung issue, they can't fight it off, right? So this is what it is, see?
So, isolation precautions, which they did for my... So when Mom or other relatives had to go see my dad, they had to put on, I think, gloves and a special hat.
It's like you just put on, it looks like a shower bonnet, and it's a paper robe.
Well, like scrubs.
Yeah, but they're paper, and you chuck them. Yeah.
I mean, I was almost envisioning like them wearing hazmat suits to go in and see Dad when he was in that condition.
All you do is you put on, it's like putting on a paper bathrobe backward. You put little scruffies on your shoes, like little things, and you put little, like a head thing on yourself.
And do you have a mask?
You should. I would.
Yeah. So, I mean, and Dad was like that for a few days in the hospital, in isolation, because of this
sea slug cream.
Why is there sea slug cream?
I don't know. We should get sea slug cream. Okay, here's your solution.
So here's the deal. So Dad has this disease. And he apparently, I mean, he still technically has it. It's probably germinating, because what happened was, this happened a few weeks ago. He got a lot better. His cell count went down. And then, boom, boom, boom. It zoomed back up again like 3 weeks later, which caused his hospitalization. And then they got everything under control. They gave him more antibiotics, but the right ones, I guess, to kill the bad bacteria growing in this C. diff. And they sent him home.
But you got to build the good bacteria's got to go in. You got to repopulate.
That's right. Okay. That's right. Oh, so, but meanwhile, when I say that it's turned my parents' lives into hell, I mean, they're now, because Dad has had mobility issues for years, they're turning the house, part of it at least, into essentially a hospital. He's got to be in now a hospital bed. He needs a special lift to get up and do things. He's going to probably shit in a fucking bucket. I don't know.
No, the toilet. The lift gets you into the chair to the toilet.
Okay, great. Still, not something he can do alone.
Right.
Not something really even Mom can help him with.
Nobody should do it alone.
So now they're hiring home help. They're hemorrhaging money. I will have nothing coming to me when they go.
But you deserve nothing because it's their money.
Ooh, thank you, darling. Ooh, I'm the inheritor.
You got 2 arms and 2 legs and a mind and a mouth. You could work.
I also got a fucking hair lip and undescended testicles and male pattern baldness.
You're adorable and you're very smart and you're cute. And
I got the brain part.
People love you. You're very engaging. You're very hammy. People love that hammy sense.
They do. It's all fake.
No.
Yeah.
Your hamminess. Yeah. You want to be loved.
Oh, kinda, yeah.
I think you should give the biggest gift you can, Sometimes you have to be a donor.
Yeah. So here's the deal. So my guess is...
By John Hopkins, tell them.
Yeah. And I hate to say this, but my guess is that within a month it'll get better, and then Dad will probably have a third bout of this shit. Quite literally. It will probably come back again. Maybe not to the point where he has to be hospitalized, but once he has to be monitored...
David, we looked at John Hopkins in the Mayo Clinic, and there is hope.
There is.
You have to give the greatest gift you can as a child.
You keep wanting to spin it positive. Okay, but here we go. So, if it comes back worse again, which it might, and it's a nasty disease. Now, how do you cure it? Antibiotics? Hopefully, yes. But if it comes back 3 times...
Antibiotics can kill the bad bug,
but
you have to repopulate the good bugs.
Right. So, there is a thing that they've been doing...
Why don't you link to the video on your site?
I'm going.
Cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's called FMT. FMT is the procedure.
And it is what it sounds like. Fecal. Wait. Oh, I missed there. Fecal microbiota transplant.
Look at the happy E. coli.
I will say that again.
Happy. It's an intervention.
Fecal microbiota transplant. Now, you folks who've heard of heart transplants,
lung transplant,
kidney transplant, or any others?
They've done a face transplant on that lady. Remember, they did a face transplant.
That's right. Yeah. Do they do eyeball?
Yeah. They can transplant all your stuff.
They can now do a transplant of feces. As Joyce said. This is not. I'm not making this as not a joke. This is not
John Hopkins in the Mayo Clinic reported. Yeah.
I swear to God. I swear you can look this up. FMT.
There's a video from Hopkins, a little cartoon you love, with the hat bucket of poo.
Which shows...
And the blender. And the blender. There's a do-it-yourself DIY. Tell them.
I'm going to.
Honey, wait. I got to get the blender. We got the ninja for a reason.
You can take someone's poo, healthy.
Well, you have to look on that scale, that Bertolli or whatever, the scale of poo.
Oh, yeah, if it's good, solid, nice poo, not too floaty, not too filled with stuff, not with blood. If you have someone who takes a good, quite literally, healthy shit.
Bristol. Here, I'm going to show you.
Oh, if it follows the Bristol stool scale
You got to look.
of what is a normal, quote-unquote, stool. Oh, there it is. There's a chart.
Sorry. Oh.
Okay. So, like, you've got type 1 stool, which is separate, hard lumps. That's not so good.
No.
You don't want those separate, nuggety lumps. 2 is sausage-like, but lumpy.
Okay, 3.
3 is still like a sausage, but it's got some cracks in the surface. This starts to feel much more normal.
Okay.
Type 4. Oh, I made one of these this morning.
Oh, good. Did you save it for your...
Like a sausage or snake, smooth and soft. Normal for people going to the bathroom daily. Type 5 has soft blobs with clear-cut edges. This is apparently the real ideal one. Let's look at 5. Oh, I had some of that too this morning. So I've got very normal poo today.
Okay, we're up to 6 and 7.
6 is problematic now. 6 is fluffy pieces with ragged edges, a mushy stool. Might be difficult to control when it comes out. Borderline normal, though.
Messy affair with the toilet.
Well, yeah, probably a lot of wiping there. And then number 7, you don't want this. Watery stool, little bitty solid pieces in it. So if you're in the type 3...
I put your name to be informed about this guy's webinars about poop?
Yes, you should. So, okay. You find somebody with type 3, 4, 5, 6, usually, stool. Good, solid, nice, workable stool with the right levels of, I don't know, plasma, pH, blood. What's in...
It's just basically... The reason you want the poop for the other person is because your poop, when it comes out of you, if you're healthy, it has all your good bacteria. Remember we saw the video, all those happy bacteria? So they go in your poop and they help the other person.
What does poop consist of besides the bacteria?
It's like waste products. It's anything your body can't digest.
Okay. Right. So, but it's not food. It was food. What is in? Literally, what is in poo? Is it chocolate pudding? Is it Chipotle? What does poop consist of? Important question, ladies and gentlemen, on the Dave Scott My Radio program of the year.
Here you go.
Read.
You read.
30% of the solid matter consists of dead bacteria. Okay. 30% consists of indigestible food matter, like cellulose. 10 to 20% is cholesterol. Interesting. Or other fat. And then another 20% is about inorganic substances like calcium, phosphate, and iron. And then there's a little bit of protein in there. So that's a lot of different stuff in poopies. Okay. Good. Okay, like bits of corn is the indigestible food matter, surrounded by cellulose, surrounded by bacteria, right, and protein. So you've got 30% in there that is bacteria, hopefully good bacteria that help make the poop in the first place. Mm-hmm. Solid, good poop.
Yeah.
You can take a good, healthy, solid poo and give it to someone who has C. difficile or a similar disease. And when I say give it, I don't mean like come over with a pretty package with a bow on it and hand them your poo. I mean that they can transplant. We can play, how long is that video? We can actually play it on the air. Yeah, why not? Unless it's like 8 minutes long, we can play part of it. But let's do it. Yeah, see if it'll play.
Treating Clostridium difficile with fecal microbial transplantation. A healthy digestive system is home to thousands of bacteria. The intestinal tract includes the stomach, small intestine, and large intestine, which is also known as the colon. In most cases, these microbes are harmless or even beneficial to a healthy individual. However, conditions that require treatment with antibiotics can kill off many of the good bacteria in the colon, allowing the bad bacteria, called Clostridium difficile, to take over.
Evil bacterium climbing the wall.
Toxins released by Clostridium difficile can damage the lining of the colon, a condition known as Clostridium difficile colitis.
Megacolon.
Clostridium difficile infection can lead to life-threatening complications, such as toxic megacolon, where the colon becomes dangerously enlarged.
Megacolon.
Clostridium difficile is normally treated with a course of antibiotics, but recurrent infection occur in between 20% to 60% of patients after an initial episode. The standard treatment for a recurrent infection is antibiotics, but in cases where this fails, there is a new alternative treatment. An emerging solution for patients with recurrent infection is fecal microbial transplantation, or FMT. Also known as stool transplantation, FMT restores good bacteria in the colon by using the good bacteria from a donor.
It's a doogie swap, folks.
Stool samples are obtained from healthy donors and are screened to ensure there are no infectious diseases. There are different ways to introduce the good bacteria, but one common way is with a colonoscopy. First, the stool is prepared by blending it with normal saline, which is a saltwater solution. Using a colonoscope, this mixture can be applied to the entire length of the colon. Studies have shown that over 90% of patients treated with fecal microbial transplantation are cured with no significant side effects reported to date.
Whee!
Please speak to your doctor about fecal microbial transplantation if you are considering this treatment.
So, this really exists, folks. This is not hypothetical. They can take healthy human feces from one person, put it into someone who has bacterial problems, the C. diff disease, and do a shit transplant. And the beautiful thing is there's another website that we found yesterday where you can actually, you know how they say, don't try this at home, don't try eye surgery at home, don't do Fonzie jumping over 13 garbage cans. No, they have a try this at home website where what you need are gloves, salt water, a bowl of some sort to collect the stool, an enema bag, that's right, and Joyce wasn't kidding before, a blender. Because you're going to blend the shit and the salt water into a solution that is then going to be pumped into the sufferer. And
do-it-yourself FMT, you want that or this one?
Oh, fecal transplant at home with DIY instructions. Why
can't that DYN thing stop this from coming up?
And I swear to God,
you got to post this on the website too. Look,
the photograph on the front thing is a beautiful. Do you know what kind of flowers those are? Orchid flowers next to a blender.
And there's a shopping list too.
And on the shopping list,
freezing it.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. You're gonna need an enema.
What, honey? Breathe. Say, what are you saying?
Here's our shopping list for the FMT. Yeah. Enema bag or bucket.
You can get them on Amazon, it says.
Disposable enema bags or enema buckets.
Yes, okay. What's this?
A heavy-duty adhesive hook. No pun on the word duty there. An adhesive hook. A cheap blender or a Ziploc bag. Bristol stool chart that we were just reading, yeah. Mm-hmm. A diagram of a colon. You gotta read. I swear. A kitchen strainer. A kitchen funnel. Yeah, distilled water. Sea salt. Optional.
Oh, good.
Silicone gloves if you're squeamish. Separate dishwashing utensils or
like, excuse me, I'm trying to wash the FMT kit.
Please, can we do this? No, I'm still eating my soup. Hold on.
Oh, God. Keep going. A large cushion.
Lubricant or coconut oil. A big brown towel or bath. Tissues, paper towels, plastic bag. A large cushion. A timer. And Imodium, also known as loperamide.
It's antidiarrheal.
So you can find and test your donor. And figure out what testing he or she will need. Pathology, yikes. Blood and fecal, okay. But they mentioned Johns Hopkins and...
Fecal diversity testing?
Well, yeah. I guess you go and you look. You know how people, when they want to get a baby donor, and they want to see what the donor is. You can probably pick and choose.
You want to read all of the way that you have to do it?
How'd you like to see a bunch of resumes from people? It's like
on the big day. Here, read what you do on the big day.
And by the way, they have the same picture. I am not kidding you. They have the same picture of the orchid flowers next to a blender, except now the blender
is filled with brown duty.
It's filled with brown, squashy liquid. All right, this is what you do on your big day. Prepare your FMT area. Put your enema bag, lubricant, tissues, paper towels, plastic bag, diagram of your colon, and timer within easy reach, together with anything you need to be comfortable, like a rug or a pillow. The cushion should go underneath the towel so that it raises your rear end. This uses... so gravity will help keep the FMT in. Assume you will have a spill. So they're already making the assumption that this is not going to go.
They've probably done it several times before. They're not novices to FMT.
You're going to assume that something's going to go very, very badly. Remember that play we saw?
Oh, about the guy,
the people in the hospital getting enemas, and it was always going really wrong.
Put the sample in a blender.
Put sample in a blender. When I say sample, I mean the collected stool sample of a healthy...
Of the donor.
Of the donor, yeah. In a blender or Ziploc bag and lightly mush or blend with water.
Well, honey,
it's like making pizza crust. If blending don't overdo it, as too much air will reduce the potency of the sample. Ziploc bags will require less cleanup than the blender method and expose the microbiota to less turbulence. But the process is...
I can't read it. I can't read that.
But the process is somewhat more...
Say it. What?
But the process is somewhat more...
revolting as you are closer
to the poop and have to mush it by hand through the bag. Your choice.
There we go.
This is all real. This is absolutely real, folks. FMT add as much water as necessary to make
make sure that enema nozzle.
Yeah. Wait. Too thick. You don't want to block the nozzle, and too runny will be harder to hold in, and will reduce the potency of the poop that you're giving the person. Oh God.
That's not. It's gonna go on.
Wait. Pour the FMT slurry into an enema bag using a kitchen strainer and bowl.
Like, what? This is just wrong.
Yeah, I would love to see, like, on Family Guy, Consuela, could you do... No, not going to do... No harm.
You have to hold it in for 6 hours.
So is the person supposed to literally stay there in that position with their ass in the air?
Yes.
How?
Yeah.
How?
With the cushion. That's what the cushion's for.
Wait. This I don't understand here. You will get into a routine with FMT. The first time is the hardest, and like every time it gets easier, hopefully you won't have to do it for too long. You mean you have to do this more than once?
Yes.
I thought it was a one-time deal.
No, it's ongoing.
You mean for day after day?
I don't know what this frequency is.
Only continue the Imodium if you're having trouble holding in the FM. What the... If you have food intolerance, don't try anything that isn't a known safe food for at least 3 months after you do all this. If it doesn't work for you, try a different donor or investigate other factors.
That's really rude.
Where do I find Briggs Protocol? I don't even know what that is. Do you?
No, I don't know.
They're not...
What you see is ulcerative colitis. I'm the founder of POP.
Ladies and gentlemen, so I do, I'm not the best son in the world. I haven't been in New York to help my folks, and I just can't deal with a lot of the medical and stuff.
You can join their Facebook about FMT.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying, like, if my dad needed a kidney or a liver or something like that.
It's like duty.
Oh God, I would not. I
Why
might.
do they have coffee coming up?
No. Would I give?
Honey, look.
Yeah.
They have a secret FMT Facebook group because he says, I'm guessing you don't want your Facebook profile to show you're a member of the fecal transplant discussion group.
I would be proud. Be proud to be an FMT member. But I would be proud.
It's called The Power of Poop, which is much better than FMT.
Oh, yeah.
Look at their Facebook.
We do have a secret group. Oh. If you please send a private message. Wow. I would be honored to be a member of the Power of Poop Facebook page.
Look at their logo.
It's beautiful. It's like an intestine, both intestines, in like this curtains kind of. It's lovely.
It's beautiful.
But Dad, let me tell you. For this I will do for you. Whoa. If you need my shit, if you need me to take the shit out of my body and donate it to you. Is there a video? Is there? Oh God! Oh, it's clean and fast. Here we go. Let's listen in, shall we? We shall.
And close your eyes. Just relax a little bit, okay? It'll be over before you know.
Hi, it's Thomas. I'm at the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. The unconscious girl with the scope in her intestines is getting a fecal transplant, which is where you take feces from someone else and you put it in you. And that makes you better.
Looks like she did a very good job cleaning up. It's actually a really excellent prep. So what we're doing here is we're putting a catheter in. Go ahead.
There it goes. How much feces is going in there?
So 50 grams of stool and 250 cc's of saline.
So that's it. That's the fecal transplant.
That's it. Yep.
So Stephanie is the patient. Suffers from Clostridium difficile, which is C. diff, which is an intestinal infection, often acquired at hospitals, and which has a tendency to develop drug resistances, which makes it extremely difficult to treat with antibiotics. It basically learns how not to be affected by the drugs. Stephanie's banking basically her entire intestinal health on this procedure, which took all of, I feel like, 8 minutes. So it's strange, but this could be basically the new frontier of medicine. People shit.
Or the new bacteria.
Not the new frontier, the new bacteria of medicine. And that was from HBO, by the way. A poop transplant. So if my Dad, if you need me on this. And not only I volunteer, if I have diarrhea and you want it, it's yours, Dad.
No, you have to be on that scale, remember?
Oh, well, yes. But, let's say... But the thing is, if I have to do this more than once, I've got to make a lot of feces.
That's going to be a problem for you. If you just go and eat some milk and meat, you're good.
Well, what if my dad is on a schedule of needing, and I get constipated for like 2 days?
You'd have to probably just take it, do it, freeze it, send it back home really quick.
But frozen, wouldn't that already...
Maybe you'd have to just, I don't know.
Maybe you'd have to
have multiple donors.
I don't know if we're a compatible donor. Would his ass reject my poo?
You made him. He made you.
Yeah.
So you come from him.
Oh, interesting. If I gave my dad multiple shit transplants, if he took...
Please call it out the right thing.
If I gave him FMT repeatedly, eventually, would his ass start to resemble mine?
Yes.
So he'd go to the bathroom like mine, his little dingus would shrivel up like...
I don't know. I think all that would happen is his bacteria. So if his bacteria in his colon, they would be like cousins of yours. They'd be cousins.
His anus would take on the personality of mine.
They would be like foster bacteria.
Oh my God!
Fostering them.
We have foster assholes. This would be the best thing. We could be like Anus and Andy.
You know, David, I think for everything that people have done for you, especially your family, I think you owe them this.
I do.
Because it's the one thing, like you're afraid of needles, you can't give organs, but this is the one thing you can give.
I can give my family a ton of shit.
The gift of poo.
And I'll make this offer even because my family's been great to me. My Aunt Esther and my Aunt Bonnie and my uncle. Well, if they do, and if they're willing to pay me.
They have their own children who can deliver, and they have babies and stuff who have a lot of poo, so.
That's true. But baby poo is very smeary. I don't know if it'll have it.
Then it'll be easier in the blender.
Oh, that's true. And the saline will stir much better.
You know something, David? I lost my appetite. I don't know why.
I would love to start a charity for FMT.
Let's see, okay.
Like, since Jerry Lewis isn't doing muscular dystrophy anymore, nobody's heard of it, nobody cares. And I don't even watch the Chabad telethons anymore for their organization. And you don't really see much about, Catholic Charities obviously holds that big thing that they just did last week. But imagine, I don't know if I'm famous enough. I'm really not famous enough to do a telethon for FMT. But what if we did a Facebook, a Kickstarter campaign simply to buy blenders for people who want to do DIY fecal.
There's a nonprofit stool bank here.
What?
Yeah, I'm telling you. They may not need you.
Open Biome. We are a nonprofit stool bank expanding safe access to fecal transplants. And they're all over the place. They've got them in New York, and I think there's one dot in Colorado.
What we do. Become a stool donor. Here you go.
Your stool can save lives.
You're too young. I mean, you're too old.
No!
Look, you are. And I think we're both too fat.
Oh, I think my body mass isn't that big.
So look, 18 to 50.
I'm 50, almost 53.
You could donate to your family, but not for the stool. No, blood and stool, 60-day follow-up. I think the microphone just donated.
Hello, we're back. Sorry, microphone fell off its perch.
It wanted to donate its stool. Let me go get a bagel for you.
Yeah, well, it's already 10:30 in the morning. Do we want to do Grilly Crimes or we want to have table? Let's save it. We have such a backlog.
What kind of
no
bagel
pun intended.
Do you want sesame or everything?
Well, wait. Are we gonna go out to eat after this? So.
No. Then let me just run up and do some business. Not that kind of business. Not that.
Honey, if I get C. difficile at some point, C. diff.
I would donate.
Would you give me your stool?
Well, only for 3 more years. Then I don't know if I can. But if I'm in the age range and the body, the BMI thing.
You would?
Yeah, I would give you my stool.
Would you give me a kidney?
Yeah.
Really?
If we were compatible, I'd give you a kidney.
I'd
give you a kidney because I have 2. If they're workable and good, I'd give you a lobe of a liver because there are many. There are many lobes. The liver has many lobes.
Because you lobe me.
Because I lobe you very much. I would give you anything. But I don't know if my stuff's
But see,
good.
now I would have to give you all these things out of guilt.
No, you would.
I want to keep things in my body.
You would never give me anything because I have to slice you open like a turkey to get this stuff, and you'd be scared.
Well, of course I'd be scared. I'd be more scared of the test to see if I'm compatible than actually doing the surgery to remove the lobe or the organ or something. I don't know. I probably would, just out of guilty things. But I would give you give you a ball.
You don't want any. I'm not oofty.
I'm hungry. I want, but I want to eat now, and then we're going to eat in 2.5 hours.
Okay. You
again.
Sure?
I'm not sure.
You want a little
Don't
snack?
tempt me. What is a little snack?
I could get you some like a bagel thin.
Yeah,
they just
worth it?
They slice the fatty part out of the bagel.
Yeah, it's the same price, isn't it?
I don't know.
Probably. Get me a bagel, and I'll still eat lunch.
You have to eat because you're producing. Now you're in the producing poop mode. You know.
That's right. I'm
You have to keep your energy up.
Yeah.
Production high. Production value high.
Now you are an eye donor, right? You have the card.
I'm a donor for everything.
Joyce says she's a donor for everything. But would you give me an eye while you were still alive? No. If I went blind and I needed an eye?
No, it means
or a tooth?
No, if I'm dead, when I'm the thing means on your driver's license, if I get in a car accident and I lose and I'm then they can harvest me.
Yeah, no, I know that, but let's say it happens to me while you're alive. And I said, can you give, I'm lost 2 eyes of mine, can I have one of your eyeballs?
I'm so near, tell them I'm so near.
Yeah, I wouldn't really necessarily want your eyes. Can I have your boobs?
You can just get fat and you'll get your own.
So I can make my own man boobs. Might be fun to have a clitoris.
I don't think so.
Really? Well, gee, you must have missed out on your teenhood. I don't know. I wonder if they can do a clitoris transplant. I haven't. I have to look up the cliterature.
I'll be back. Everything toasted.
Everything absolutely. And they make sure they really toast it. They run that thing through like it's like an air vent for 4 seconds, and they call that toasting.
Okay, I'll be back.
I'll see you in a little while. That's my darling and adorable and wonderful and generous wife, Joyce, who would give me her liver. And probably, well, I don't know, how many pancreases do we? I think we just have one pancreas. She probably couldn't give me that. But she could give me a bit of some other, a kidney, if I needed, God forbid, a kidney. And she would, most importantly, give me her feces. And I thank her for that. My beautiful, darling listeners, I don't know if I would give you feces because I pump shit into you every week here on Dave's Gone By. This radio program, Saturday mornings from 9 until noon or thereabouts on uncradio.com, the radio station of the University of Northern Colorado, where we mix comedy and talking music and the stuff that we were just doing every week here for my amusement and yours. Remember that if you're not listening to us live right now because our station isn't streaming live right now, you can go to davesgoneby.com, click on the archives, and hear our shows for free. You can stream them right on your computer if you're worried about maybe downloading a file, or you can download our very big MP3 files and listen to them like a podcast. Put them on your MP3 player, on your iPod. Any way that you want to listen to our shows, our website is brand new, redone, really, really simple to scan and search. So if you're looking for a certain guest that we've had on over the years, famous people sometimes, like, I don't know, Donna McKechnie, or Dick Cavett, or Carl Reiner, or Carol Channing, or Charles Grodin, or Dr. Demento, or Christine Lavin, or Judy Collins. I mean, on and on. You can find the shows that they were on and listen to the whole shows. We also have a separate archive of just the interviews that we've done, a separate archives of the funny songs, the original songs that we've done on the show, as well as the original skits and sketches. They're all there, and a whole section of our wretched puns of destiny that Joyce alluded to a few minutes ago. All of that at davesgoneby.com. Remember also that you can go from there and click on the white and blue letter F to get to our Facebook page, Radio Dave Lefkowitz. Please like us and follow us there. And also you can email me, davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. Well, it's, not that it matters because we're not streaming, but it's 10:54 a.m. Mountain Time. We got a very late start today in the neighborhood here on Dave's Gone By. We got stuff to do, more stuff to do on this radio program. We'll have a Saturday segue of songs in the news. We'll go inside Broadway for news of theater and the Rialto. And we'll play some Bob Dylan music because he is Bob Dylan, and we're going to celebrate the anniversary of the release of Infidels back in 1983, in the middle of October. He's put out tons of albums in October, but we're choosing this one to celebrate this week, Infidels. All of that coming up. But first, let's get to some other music. Let's do a would-have-been birthday Saturday segue for someone with an incredibly unique, noticeable, and great voice. A man who had a very, very difficult life and a difficult career with some amazing high points. So I'm talking about Ted Hawkins, who was born in Biloxi, Mississippi back in 1936. He was born, actually, around this time of year. This coming Saturday would have been his 59th birthday, but he died on New Year's Day of 1995, just when his career had really reached some level of stability. He was never going to be a big, famous star on the charts, but he had, that the level of being recognized, a couple of albums out, a really good recent album out, and then being able to tour off that. So what happened was, Hawkins was born poor, did a lot of odd jobs, and got into a lot of trouble. Did some petty crimes and things, spent some time in and out of jail, but through it all, he was also learning the guitar and listening to people like Sam Cooke, who was a real influence on him. He also battled heroin for many years, but when he was okay, he was making music, and he would start in the 1970s to try and get a record deal. There'd be hope, there'd be promises, and then it'd fall through. Hopes and promises, and then it'd fall through. Finally, in the early 1980s, remember, Hawkins at this point was already he was almost 50 years old at this point. But Rounder Records, which was this great folk label, they're probably still around. Forgive me if I'm thinking that they're not. But Rounder Records is this marvelous label that had people on it, like our friends of the neighborhood, Christine Lavin and Tom Paxton, who was just on our show last month. Really devoted to the great traditional folk and also modern folk idiom artists. Rounder Records rediscovered Ted Hawkins and put him on a couple of albums. And they didn't sell very well, unfortunately, but the reviews were very good. Critics would hear it and go, whoa, this guy's got a voice, he writes some interesting songs, he does really good cover versions, this is a real talent here. And so this happened in the 1980s. It was starting. And yet, because there wasn't a real commercial interest, things kind of slid back again. And he found himself playing on the streets and busking and doing that. And also, again, dealing with drugs, dealing with some criminal issues. And then, eventually, though, I think towards the late 1980s or early 90s, he got signed by Geffen Records. And he put out one album called The Next 100 Years with real orchestrations, a real budget, not just him on the guitar, but it sounded like a folk pop album of the time. And it sounds, for the most part, absolutely great. And it put him on a whole other level, career-wise and notability-wise. Now, funny thing is, if you read the Wikipedia story about Ted Hawkins, he wasn't thrilled with the album. He preferred himself just with a guitar. And he didn't like the filigree and all the other instruments coming in. That was just him. I kind of disagree. And I think when we look back at Ted Hawkins, as much as it is often great to hear him just with a guitar, that album, The Next 100 Years, certain songs on there are the best that he had done and belong in the canon and should be played on every radio station. And just... they still blow you away 20 years later. Well, so he got this record out on Geffen, and now he's really able to tour. He's able to do indoor concert hall, because the man's now in his 60s. He doesn't want to be outside in all weather, busking for things in his guitar case. He can actually be on a bill with somebody. He can go to places like Joe's Pub or the Tin Angel in Philadelphia. And he was doing this. And then he ran into some more, I think, legal trouble. And I remember this. It's not in the wiki page, but I do remember that they found, child porn on his computer. And forgive me if I'm misremembering that or besmirching him in that way. But he was having some kind of, what they say, unpalatable circumstances to his life. But at the same time, things were getting better in other ways. But then health problems kicked in, and he had a stroke in late December of 1994, and just made it up until January 1st, 1995, when Ted Hawkins died at the age of 58. A 2015 tribute album to him came out. I haven't heard that, and I would really like to. But no, let's hear Ted Hawkins himself doing a couple of songs. This is from one of the earlier albums of his, and one of his better-known songs for people who know Ted Hawkins. It's called Cold and Bitter Tears, and just listen to this voice. You might shed some cold and bitter tears about the good and bad that happened in his life, but all you can do when you hear a voice like this, and a songwriter like this, is appreciate and marvel at Ted Hawkins.
Wondering why you left me after all I tried to do. You know I miss you, baby, and the children miss you too. Tonight we done the dishes just to keep your memory here. I cool the hot dishwater with my cold and bitter tears. The words which I've just spoken is the truth, I swear to God. I'm sorry if I hurt you, sometimes I'm nervous, I work so hard. I still love you, my darling, but we're lost without you here. I cool the hot dishwater with my cold and bitter tears. It's winter time already, Christmas will be here soon. Be a sad, sad occasion if you're not here. dining room. I'm afraid to do the dishes, and I know the reason why. Putting on your apron makes me wanna cry. To keep our home together, I've done the best I could. Your true reason for leaving, honey, I never understood. I still love you, my darling, and the children, won't you hear? I cool the hot dishwater with my cold and bitter tears. I cool the hot dishwater with my cold and bitter tears. Happy days are here again. Life is worth living now. Loneliness is in the past. You're coming back at last. Life is worth living. Love I am getting. Sweet, sweet to me. I got someone, oh, we're so in love. Just like it was meant to be. Got to tell somebody she's in love with me. Come on, take me in your arms. No, don't just stand there. Get it off of my shoulder. Come on and give that love to me. Yeah, I don't wanna sound dumb. Hey, baby, true love will come. Not maybe, now that you gave your love to me. No, don't just stand there. Get it off of my shoulder. Come on and give that love to me. I got to tell you how much I love you. Got to tell you how much I love you. Got to tell you how much I love you. Got to tell you how much I love you.
Here we go, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Swimming in the sea. Oh, they look like sisters in the ocean. The boy will fill his pail with salted water, and the storms will blow from off toward New Orleans. Shine on Biloxi. The air is filled with vapors from the sea, and the boy will dig a pool beside the ocean. He sees creatures from a dream on the water. sun will set from off toward New Orleans. The stars can find their faces in the sea. And we're walking in the evening by the ocean. We are splashing naked in the water. And the sky is red from off toward New Orleans. And the sky is red from off toward New Orleans. And the sky is red from off toward New Orleans. And the sky is red from off toward New Orleans. And the sky is red from off toward New Orleans. And the sky is red from off toward New Orleans. And the sky is red from off toward New Orleans. And the sky is red from off toward New Orleans. I've got big things to do. Too soon my life will be through. Got no time to stop and pick up no flower. I've got catching up to do. Yes, I've got big things to do. Now I've got a song here to write. I stay up most every night, creating with hope they will live on forever. I've got big things to do. Yes, I've got so much to do. Got no schooling, I've been fooling. This is why I can't find no job. Now it's over, no time left. That's why I'm running so hard. Got a story to tell. Gotta hurry, just ain't no time left. But the sun will shine bright someday. I've got mountains to cross. I'm searching for time that I've lost. Yes, I've got big things to do.
Well, big things never quite happened for Ted Hawkins, but he made some important minor things, including that marvelous album that we talked about, The Next 100 Years. That wasn't from there. That was actually a live version from the final tour, because he also did another album. I guess it must have been posthumous, come to think of it. A song called Big Things from the late Ted Hawkins. Hawkins died back on January 1st, 1995, but he would have turned 58 years old next coming Saturday. So we honor him with a birthday salute today here. It's only the 22nd today. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised we're not going to be here on the program next week, but come to think of it, why did I do this today as opposed to... I should have checked that out. October 28th. So it's sort of a week early to honor the late Ted Hawkins, but it's always a good time to honor Ted Hawkins because of that sound, of that voice. Whether he's doing his own songs, like Big Things, or whether he is singing other people's tunes and doing cover versions, like that fine version of Jesse Winchester's Biloxi. And then before that, we heard Happy Days from the Ted Hawkins Story album, Suffer No More. And up top from the Happy Hour record, Cold and Bitter Tears. So yeah, there's a more than a strain or two of sadness that runs through everything that kind of touched Ted Hawkins. But certainly a unique talent, certainly a voice that was stilled a little too soon. It's just nice that he got eventually that taste of minor success, of getting an album on truly a major label, and then getting the muscle and the support to go and, live a better, more comfortable life. Not being rich, not having, taking planes everywhere and having handlers and getting to be a diva or crap like that, but simply being able to play indoor venues with appreciative crowds, not people just walking past you on the street, some stopping for a song or two and throwing $1 in your case, but people who know, oh, wow, Ted Hawkins, I heard that album. You got to hear that voice of his. He's a good guitarist, too. Oh, yeah, we got to go see him. That kind of different audience and lifestyle that he was able to enjoy for the last 2 or 3 years of his life. So the late Ted Hawkins here on Dave's Gone By on this Saturday, October 22nd, 2016, the INTERNOT episode of the show, because we're not streaming live, alas. We've got still more technical problems at the radio station that need to be solved quickly, please. But until then, we can still do the show, pop it on the interwebs, assuming America's interwebs are running over the next few days, and you can hear it there. Here on Dave's Gone By, I'm Dave Lefkowitz, the host and producer of this show, a show we could not do without the fine, kind sponsorship of our friends at Hewlett Minuteman Press, the copy kings of Broadway since the mid-1970s. The Toron family has owned and operated Hewlett Minuteman Press in the heart of Hewlett, Long Island. It's about 2.5 blocks from the LIRR station, across the street from the big new Petco, and people have been going there for years and continue to go there because they're not just a copy shop. They're a place where you can do binding and printing and banners and Mylar balloons and getting your logo on shirts and other clothing items, on cups, on mugs, on sporting good items, having your wedding invitations and holiday cards done through them. They're known for that. They're known for a ton of wonderful things that they do at reasonable prices with reasonable turnaround time. Hewlett Minuteman Press, the franchise, right in Hewlett, Long Island. And if you tell them Dave sent you, you get 10% off any job, big or small. So go to them. 516-569-5577. Area code 516-569-5577. 5577. They're closed now today. They were open until noon, but they will reopen on Monday at 8:30, and they're there Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, and about a third of a day on Saturday to help you grow your business. Hewlett Minuteman Press. They are the copy kings. Well, not that many years ago, I felt like I was kind of the king of Broadway, because I had this big job at a major Broadway website, and I was this established theater critic, and I was seeing every Broadway show, and tons of off and off-Broadway shows. I was read and quoted and all that sort of thing. It was great. I miss it somewhat. I'm not quite in that position anymore, but I still love the theater, still love Broadway, still write about it, still talk about it on this radio show. And I do it in a little segment that I like to call Inside Broadway. Inside Broadway, a look at theater in New York, Colorado, and beyond, brought to you by TotalTheater.com and Performing Arts Insider, the Bible of Broadway. Inside Broadway we go, here on the Dave's Gone By radio program of the air. Because I do love the theater, and actually I'm going back to New York next week, and I'm going to see a bunch of Broadway shows and report back on them to you. Report to you on them. Little grammar there. But anywho, yeah, I'm seeing some big stuff. I'm going to go see Falsettos, the revival of the great William Finn musical. I'm going to go see The Front Page, which is this classic Charles MacArthur Ben Hecht farce that I'm actually going to talk about a little into this segment. I'm going to go see it and review it for you. I'm also going to be seeing the new play by the author of The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, Simon Steffens, who wrote this play called Heisenberg that stars Mary Louise Parker. I'll be talking about that. And maybe 2 or 3 more even in my short trip to New York. I like to squeeze in a whole bunch of stuff while I'm there. So definitely be listening, not next week, because we'll be off, but once I get back in early November. Lots of fun, great stuff that I can, not just telling you the Broadway news, but giving you some opinions as well. Well, let's start with a little bit of Broadway news about one of the most anticipated musicals of the whole season, the revival of Hello, Dolly, the first revival that wasn't essentially the same production. Invariably, all of them starring, or for a certain amount of time, Carol Channing. Now, Carol Channing is still alive and well and remains a friend of the neighborhood, but this time she's not going back on Broadway. She's in good shape for 90-something years old, but not quite the shape to do Hello, Dolly again. But, of course, we know that Bette Midler is. And for months now, people have been anticipating, oh, wow, Bette Midler and David Hyde Pierce from Frasier are both co-starring in this Hello, Dolly. But, Bette Midler isn't a spring chicken anymore either. She's not doing, 2 shows a night in the baths in 1970-something. She's also a big, huge star. So, come June, after the show opens, the show's going to open on April 20th in, which theater is it? The Schubert Theater, big theater. And she's going to be with it through them. And then in the middle of June, just a few weeks into the run, she's going to take longer weekends. So she's going to take Tuesdays off. And instead, the actress playing Dolly Levi will be Donna Murphy, who's quite an actress in her own right. She's a 2-time Tony winner for Stephen Sondheim's musical Passion, and also not the most recent revival, but a revival of The King and I a few years back. She was also terrific in a revival of Wonderful Town, and all of New York kind of discovered her in that off-Broadway musical Song of Singapore. Good Lord, 25 years ago. But she's got this great voice. She's very funny. She's got everything. She's like I don't know if she's a great dancer, but you could consider her a triple threat. So very interesting. If you don't get to see Bette Midler as Dolly Levi, maybe you'll go see on a Tuesday night Donna Murphy. That's not like the Booby Prize. That's pretty great. And again, Hello Dolly starts previews in March at the Schubert Theater and then opens in mid-April. Want to let you know that a show that will not be coming to Broadway this season, that was supposed to, is a revival of the Langford Wilson drama Burn This, to be directed by Michael Mayer. They had a big star lined up for Burn This. I mean, you couldn't do the show, really, on Broadway, at least, without a big star. So they're bringing it back, and they were excited about it. And they had Jake Gyllenhaal playing this guy, this restaurateur with kind of a mysterious, shady, almost dangerous past, who helps a woman get over her grief at the loss of a close friend. I'm not giving away. I mean, the play is 3 hours long. I'm not really giving away plot by telling you that. Anyway, it needs a volatile, exciting, kind of sexy lead actor to help carry the show. When I first saw it, back in, my God, it was probably the late 1980s or maybe the early 90s when I saw Burn This on Broadway with my dad, because we were going to the theater back then together. And there's a short scene with this woman who's in grief and another one of her friends, and she's puttering around the house and going to bed. And then, boom, in comes this restaurant guy, played by John Malkovich. If I tell you the electricity in that theater, if I tell you what it felt like to be there at that, it was just like, oh my God, this place could explode. It was like, it made me wish all over again that I could have been there when True West was being done in the 1970s in Chicago and then in New York, and Malkovich came on the scene. And you just didn't know what this creature was or what he was capable of. Well, you saw it in Burn This. It was thrilling. It really, really was. And and they did a revival of Burn This off-Broadway a few years back with a fairly well-known movie star. I'm forgetting his name, and it was okay. It was a decent, kind of interesting play, but not the grabber it was when Malkovich was there. Well, these producers of the new version were hoping that Jake Gyllenhaal would bring the same excitement, and certainly the same crowds of people who want to see him in a play again. But Gyllenhaal is a very in-demand Hollywood actor, so his schedule turned out to say, no, can't do it right now. Sorry, guys. Hollywood's offering me, $10 million to do X, Y, and Z, and you're offering me only $3 million, and it's not worth. Whatever. I mean, I'm making up the numbers, but it's forced the producers to cancel, at least temporarily, to postpone is the word they're using, that they're going to postpone it for a season. So it won't come in this spring. They're still hoping it will come in from 2017 to 18. But the thing is, they've got this Broadway theater that is completely refurbished, that hasn't been used in years, the Hudson Theater. And this was going to be the inaugural show to bring the Hudson Theater back to Broadway, giving us, I think, either a 43rd or 44th house on Broadway. So the owners of the theater are scrambling to bring in some other property between now and then, because this is a big gap. I'm sure they're pretty pissed about this. But anyway, gonna wait, unfortunately, for the Gyllenhaal revival of Burn This. One thing that we've been anticipating and waiting for since it was announced a few months ago was the revival of Charles MacArthur and Ben Hecht's classic newspaper comedy, The Front Page, on Broadway. Well, it opened. It opened on Thursday, this past Thursday, with a cast. Check out just the cast. This is why people were chosen for this, because they did The Front Page a few years back. I think Alec Baldwin was in it as the lead, and it was funny. It was okay. It was watchable. You kind of got the sense that this was a much, much more exciting, funny play when they did it in 1928. But now they've got a new one, a new revival, directed by Jack O'Brien, who has a lot of experience with these kinds of things, and it's starring, among others, John Slattery, Jefferson Mays, the guy from I Am My Own Wife, John Goodman from all those Coen Brothers movies and Roseanne, Dan Florek, you know him from playing the bald lead head guy on Law and Order all those years, Sherry Renee Scott right, from The Little Mermaid and from the last 5 years, and even more names, and then held in abeyance for like the first 2/3 of the show almost. Not even there. Nathan Lane. And then Nathan Lane comes on. So, my God, front page, Nathan Lane. All you need to know. Or is it? Because the reviews came out on Thursday night, and this is what a couple of the reviewers said. Variety's Marilyn Stasio wrote, "This is an impeccable revival that delights in the tasteless vulgarity of that fabled era. The production is as close to perfection as it comes." Not everybody felt the way she did. There were a few who said, "Oh my God, what an amazing cast. They're all terrific. And when Nathan Lane comes on, it just blows the roof off the place." New York Times, Ben Brantley, head critic of the Times, a little less effusive in his praise. He said, "Oh, it's a pretty darn good and sometimes very funny revival. But it's just diverting rather than all out amazing." Daily News theater critic Joe Demanowitz, who's a friend of the neighborhood, he comes on our Tony shows, said that Nathan Lane saves the day. But that comes more than 90 minutes into a play that's full of banter and exposition. And he's not the only one. There were other critics who were a bit disappointed, who said that, the play is old, it feels old, even though it's treating some relevant themes to current times. It's just not, it's almost 90-something years old at this point. Just, it doesn't have the zest, or maybe this production doesn't quite. Even some said when Nathan Lane comes into it, but Demanowitz says, "Oh, no. When Lane comes on, all four burners, and the thing just erupts." Not only that, he also says nice words about Jefferson Mays, and the other guy I left out, Robert Morse, is in there. Robert Morse from How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, both the play and the movie, from the Broadway show True. Robert Morse is there on Broadway in the front page. So I am still, despite the mixed reviews, still really excited to see front page and report my thoughts back to you in 2 or 3 weeks. Want to remind you, like I couldn't do this Inside Broadway segment on Dave's Gone By without the fine folks at TotalTheater.com, a free website of reviews and articles and interviews all about the American National and American and National is the same, but international theater as well. You can read for free hundreds, thousands really, of reviews from Broadway, off and off, regional theater, even international theater. They just put up a review from, oh my gosh, where was it? It was some really pretty far off international place. It might have been Serbia, I think. Could be wrong. It just went up a day or two ago. And if you wanted to find it, all you have to do is go to the What's New page. You click right on the home page, and there's a banner that says What's New. You click there, and that'll show you all the shows reviewed that are still currently running on Broadway, all over the country, all over the world. So you can read reviews from Sarasota, Florida, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, from Los Angeles, California, from the Stratford Shakespeare Festival, from, of course, new Broadway shows that have opened. There's a review, I think, of Heisenberg that I just mentioned. There's a review of The Encounter, this wild solo on Broadway that's done as much for audio as it is for visuals. So all of that for free at TotalTheater.com. Do check it out. And remember that Total Theater is also the parent company of Performing Arts Insider, the Bible of Broadway, since 1944. This is the journal that people in the entertainment industry turn to when they want to know every detail about every show on every stage of New York. There are chronological listings of all the shows on, off, and off Broadway, when they open, when they start previews, when they close, and then comprehensive listings of every single show, all the actors, the designers, the director, the choreographer, lyricist, the stage manager, the set designer, lighting designer, sound person, dramaturg, all those names, and also how do you get in touch? If you wanted to contact some playwright that's doing a Broadway or off Broadway show, some designer, you have a question about how they're doing the show, or maybe you want to hire them, right? Or maybe you want them to hire you. All that information, the press agents handling all these shows, sometimes even direct access. Sometimes there's even email addresses for the actors and creators and designers of shows. So you don't even have to go through the middleman. You can get right to them. You're not going to find that stuff anywhere but the pages of Performing Arts Insider. Now, it is not a cheap publication. It's a journal, but the people who subscribe renew year after year because they know it's the only place that can get that information put together so succinctly, so accurately, so usefully in the pages of PAI. So go to performingartsinsider.com for more information. Remember, the website just gives you info on how to subscribe. We don't have the magazine itself online. Maybe someday. But for now, you got to send away for it the old-fashioned way. Or you can pick up a freestanding copy at the Drama Bookshop or Theater Circle, both in Midtown Manhattan, or find on the website how to subscribe or send away for a single issue to Performing Arts Insider, the Bible of Broadway. Well, I mentioned that I'm going to see falsettos on Broadway during my trip, which is great because it's about to open on Broadway this coming Thursday at the Walter Kerr Theater. It's the classic musical by James Lapine and William Finn. Kind of interesting that James Lapine was involved in two of the greatest musicals of the last 30 to 40 years, Sunday in the Park with George and Falsettos, which was a compilation, I guess you could say, of three different William Finn musicals. There was March of the Falsettos, In Trousers, and then Falsetto Land off-Broadway, all of them treating the story of this family, this very dysfunctionally functional family, with Marvin being the dad and the husband, except Marvin at one point realizes that he's gay, and he falls in love with his friend. And so that leaves his wife Trina in some difficulty raising their 12-year-old son. And he's got issues because his 12-year-old son likes girls and also wants to do well at the bar mitzvah and also has all these other issues with his parents divorcing and his father being gay. So, and meanwhile, the mother's seeing a psychiatrist and the son is seeing a psychiatrist. It's all, funny, as they say, bitch, funny, four Jews in a room bitching kind of thing. That's a song in the show. And then it gets really poignant and really wonderful. I don't know about the current Broadway revival of the show. I've been reading very good things about it. The reviews won't come out until Thursday night, but it's playing at the Walter Kerr Theater. It features Christian Borle as Marvin, Stephanie J. Block as Trina, Andrew Rannells, he was from Book of Mormon, Andrew Rannells as Whizzer, and Tracy Toms as Charlotte, Betsy Wolfe playing Cordelia. They're the lesbians from next door. That's how they refer to themselves. Brandon Uranowitz as Mendel, the psychiatrist, and Anthony Rosenthal as young Jason, who's about to have his bar mitzvah. This won, by the way, the Tony Award for Best Book and Score in 1992. I think they denied it the big one, the Best Musical Tony, basically because it was compiled from three different off-Broadway shows already, so it wasn't quite necessarily new. And I'm not sure what show beat it that year, but it's got some of the best Broadway music written in the last 3 decades by Bill Finn. And it was supposed to debut last season, but this one had gotten pushed back. And now it's with us. So Falsetto's opening on Thursday. Another show about, well, a show that just started previews 2 days ago, and that is scheduled to open, and will open in the middle of November, is Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812 at the Imperial Theater on Broadway. Now, this was a show that started off-Broadway, even off, really, back in 2012, 2013, and became a real happening, a real event. It was kind of staged in a, what shall we say, immersive sort of a way. It got people excited. It was a thing a couple of years ago, put out or created and developed by this group called Ars Nova. Well, the New York Post has been reporting that things are not going great backstage because, it's one thing to do even a big off-offy kind of show. That takes several $1,000s worth of budget and logistics and everything else. You take a show like that and try to move it to Broadway, the problems and the numbers become exponentially bigger. So you bring on all these other producers, including big-name producers Howard and Janet Kagan. so they take the lead on taking this little Ars Nova show, not so little, but this Ars Nova show, and moving it a couple of years later uptown with the funding in place. Well, in order to do that, the Kagans had to bring on all these other producers who are, what do they get for that? Hopefully, if it's a hit, they make a bit of money. Either way, they get to go to the opening night parties and they get their names on the playbill as having produced this show. That's one of the huge currencies of theater, is getting your name, if you're a producer, as being in a line credit, not just like the dentist who donates $100 to another guy, and that other guy goes to the producer with all these backers, and the backers quietly get paid if the show is a hit. These are people who want their name on the cover page, and maybe even want a little paragraph in the playbill bios for it. Well, so they put all these new producers on the cover page, the title page, of the playbill for Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812. But apparently, Ars Nova was expecting to be like, hey, the Kagans are presenting an Ars Nova production of Natasha, Pierre, and co-produced by blah, blah, blah. That's not what they got. They got really their names in tiny little script along with everybody else's, as if they were just another entity that threw a little money and were somehow involved in the show, rather than the group that helped create and put together this new musical by Dave Malloy. And so they're really, really angry at this lead producer. And the producer's angry at them. He's saying, hey, look, we're not off-Broadway anymore. This is my baby. I'm the guys bringing it to Broadway, not you, and I need these people. I need these other producers with their money, and I need to give them the credit that you guys get. And not only that, if you're going to make me mad, I'm scheduling the cast recording of Natasha, Pierre, the Broadway cast album of the show, on the same night that the Ars Nova Company is scheduled to have its big annual fundraising benefit. Now, the Ars Nova was counting on this, and counting on being able to bring in the stars of this Broadway show to the benefit as a lure for people to buy tables and to spend the money and donate to the company. So if the stars aren't there because they are contractually obligated to be recording the cast CD, you've got serious issues. And then the producer's saying he's going to bar the Ars Nova's people from the theater when the show's running. I mean, it's just, apparently, according to the New York Post and some other sources, it's gotten really ugly really quickly. And the show just started previews 2 nights ago. So stay tuned for more on Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812. I wish I could say that I was going to see that next week as part of my theater-going junket, as it were. But it's just too early in the preview process for me to properly review it, unfortunately, because it would be on my list of things to see. I will say that... what am I going to say about this? I will say that I have a song to play because there was an off-Broadway cast recording done in 2013. So there's already a cast recording of Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812, and we can listen to a song from it. In fact, we will. I don't know. I have to feel like it's going to work better in concert and stuff. It's this odd mix of modern music, even though we're talking about 1812, modern style music and kind of rappy, rocky, poppy stuff. I'm sure I've got to listen to it a lot more closely. It's like a 2-record set, and there's a lot of music there. I can't even listen to all of Hamilton, But let's give it a whirl. Let's hear just a piece from, I think, the second act of Natasha, Pierre. This is a song called Balaga, and I guess there's a lot of Balaga going on backstage at this musical.
It's
poke, we abuse with wild and tipsy shouts. Who knows things that would get you sent straight to Siberia if anyone found out? It's Balaga, driving mad at 12 miles an hour. Balaga, coming straight to get out my way, get out my way. Balaga, drinking and dancing at gypsy orgies. Balaga, riding my horses into the ground for my fine, fine gentlemen. Yes, sir, hey, oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. More than once. Driven you round with ladies on your lap. More than once. Taking your places, not on any map. More than once. Gallop faster than ordinary men would dare. More than once. Dump my troika right into the air. And I never ask for rubles, except maybe once a year. I don't do this for rubles. I do it because I like them. And we like Balaga too. Whoa.
Come gather round, people. It's time for Bob Dylan, Sooner and Later. Songs from all different times and phases of Bob Dylan's career. Everybody must get bobbed. Sorry about the rather abrupt jump from song to song there. Natasha Pierre is one of those musicals where the tracks, at least in the off-Broadway recording, flow from one to the other. So it's not like you get a big finish on a song. Well, sometimes you do. And then you get a little few seconds of break before the next one. This one kind of stops and then would go right into the next Natasha song. But no, we're going into some different kind of music here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our Bob Dylan Sooner and Later segment on Dave's Gone By here in the neighborhood at UNC Radio. Dylan, in the news. I talked about this with my with my wife a couple of about an hour or so ago when she was here on the program, and we were saying how he won the Nobel Prize a week and a half ago. We know that, and now the Nobel people are kind of angry at him because he's not supplicant and fawning and thank you so much. I can't wait. No, they're not hearing from him at all. He's not responded to the request of, well, are you going to show up at our big Oslo thing where you get your $750,000 check? And are you just going to thank us? Little thank you very much, please, et cetera and so forth. Something gracious. Apparently, Dylan had on his website, whether he was responsible for this or not, a little thing that said, Nobel laureate Bob Dylan, et cetera and so forth. And then they took it down. It was up for like a day. And then they removed it. So I don't know what's going on with. Does he not like Sweden or something like that? He's on tour. He's playing a few venues in America this week. Always mysterious, always rather crotchety. Bob Dylan, interesting to follow. But that's not what our Bob Dylan Sooner and Later segment is going to be about today. This is also the anniversary week of an album that Dylan put out in on October 27th, 1983. So we're talking about the 33rd anniversary of an album that was already seen as being time when he was starting to go downhill. This was after the Born Again, the so-called Born Again era of 3 albums that he did, Slow Train Comin', Saved, and then the one that sort of crossed back into more mainstream pop territory, Shot of Love, back in 1981. Well, 2 years later, he came out with another album, moving past, for the most part, that whole Born Again gospel scene, into something that still had very biblical feel to it, but in a much broader way, and an album called Infidels, and a song that had an album that had 1 or 2 songs that could really cross into the pops charts, and one did. As a matter of fact, we're going to play one that I think Rod Stewart made into a minor hit. So this was seen as a comeback for Dylan. In fact, it was probably seen as a stronger album at the time than it may in retrospect. The second side is not I mean, in my opinion, I guess, is not really up to the first one. But there's some good stuff on Infidels, and it was exciting, at least for people, to see that Dylan wasn't going to get bogged down in, you must believe in Jesus music forever. It was just a phase. Now, who knows what his religion still is? He may still believe, he may not, and he may still pick up songs from that era here and there. And there's even a rumor now on the internet that the next bootleg series, on November 11th, they're releasing a bootleg series, I swear to God, of 36 CDs of the live concerts from 1965 and 66 that Dylan was doing with the band and the Hawks, which is like extraordinary material, but kind of insane to parse the idea of trying to listen to these 36 different concerts recorded in all different states of audio quality. Who can get even beyond that? And they still haven't released the Blood on the Tracks era tapes. I'm surprised at that. Everybody thought those would be coming up really soon. But now the scuttlebutt is that it'll be the gospel years. It will be the 1978, 79 through 81 outtakes and bootlegs and other material and first takes and things like that will make the next Columbia Records bootleg series light go on. But for now, let's go back to Infidels, released October 27th, 1983, Bob Dylan's 22nd studio album, produced by Mark Knopfler. Let's hear a couple of songs from that.
Been so long since a strange woman has slept in my bed. Look how sweet she sleeps, how free must be her dreams. In another lifetime she must have owned the world or been faithfully wed to some righteous king who wrote songs beside moonlight stream. I and I, in creation where one's nature neither honors nor forgives. I and I, one said to the other, no man see my face and live. Think I'll go out and go for a walk. Not much happening here, nothing ever does. Besides, if she wakes up now, she'll just want me to talk. I got nothing to say, especially about whatever was. I and I, in creation where one's a nature neither honors nor forgives. I and I, one said to the other, no man sees my face and lives. Took an untrodden path once where the swift don't win the race. It goes to the worthy who can divide the word of truth. Took a stranger to teach me to look into justice's beautiful face, and to see an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. I and I, in creation where one's nature neither honors nor forgives. I and I, one said to the other, no man sees my face and lives. Outside of two men on a train platform, there's nobody in sight. They're waiting for spring to come, smoking down the track. The world could come to an end tonight, but that's alright. She should still be there sleeping when I get back. I and I, in creation where one's nature neither honors nor forgives. I'm still pushing myself along the road, the darkest part, into the narrow lanes. I can't stumble or step foot. Someone else is speaking with my mouth, but I'm listening only to my heart. I've made shoes for everyone, even you, and I still go barefoot. In creation where one's nature neither honors nor forgives. One said to the other, no man sees my face and lives.
Pressure's down, the boss ain't here, he gone on for a while. They say the vanity got the best of him, but he sure left here in style. By the way, that's a cute hand, and a smile so hard to resist. But what's a sweetheart like you doing in a dump like this? You know I once knew a woman who looked like you. She wanted a home and not just a house. She used to call me sweet daddy when I was only a child. You gotta remind me of her when you laugh. In order to deal in this game, gotta make the queen disappear. It's done with the flick of the wrist. And what's a sweetheart like you doing in a dump like this? You know a woman like you should be at home. That's where you belong. Taking care of somebody nice who don't know how to do you wrong. Just how much abuse will you be able to take? No, there's no way to tell from the first kiss. What's a sweetheart like you doing in a dump like this? You know, you can make a real name for yourself. You can hear them tires squeal. You could be known as the most beautiful woman who ever crawled across cut glass to make a deal. You know, news of you has come down the line even before you came in the door. They say in your father's house there's many mansions. Each one of them got a fireproof floor. Snap out of it, baby, people are jealous of you. They smile at your face, but behind your back they hiss. What's a sweetheart like you doing in a dump like this? Now to be an important person, to be here, honey, got to have done some evil deed. You got to have your own hell when you come in the door. Got to play your harp till your lips bleed. To say that patriotism is the last refuge to which a scoundrel clings. Well, scream a little and they throw you in jail. Scream a lot and they make you king. There's only one step down from here, baby. It's called the land of Burma.
From our friend in the neighborhood, Karl Wallinger of World Party, a Bob Dylan song called Sweetheart Like You that you'll find Dylan do on his album Infidels. Let's hear Dylan do another song of his own from that record.
Could
Bit of peace there, a piece of Man of Peace there from Bob Dylan and his Infidels album, released 33 years ago by Columbia Records, Dylan's 22nd studio album. So we played a couple of songs from that album by Dylan here on Dave's Gone By on our Bob Dylan Sooner and Later segment in honor of the anniversary of its release on October 27th, 1983. So we ended there with the catchy, bouncy, if a trifle longish, Man of Peace from Infidels, and we open up top with I and I, one of the lesser known and not one of the best Dylan songs from the album. Also, it's kind of weird, same record, and yet the production values on I and I just seemed so. I tried boosting the volume and moving a couple of dials and stuff, but it still sounded very muted and far away in its production aspects. Maybe they'll clean that up when they release, or if they re-release Infidels in some sort of diamond-crusted MP3 Ogg Vorbis format or something. But in between I and Man of Peace, we heard another Dylan song, Sweetheart Like You, maybe the best song and best-known song on Dylan's album, except we didn't play the Dylan version. We played the Karl Wallinger / World Party version of Sweetheart Like You, that I quite like a lot. So, celebrating Dylan here on Dave's Gone By. I mentioned Mark Knopfler did the production on that album. And according to Wiki, because we get all our information from Wiki now, Dylan approached a lot of big people to and was vetting them for producing this album, including Elvis Costello and, another one or two really major people that he wanted, because he wanted to get a more modern sound. He knew that the sound of music was changing in the 80s from the 70s. So he didn't want to be quite left behind with what he was doing. So he interviewed a bunch of people, and he ended up going with Mark Knopfler, who kind of let Dylan just sort of do what he wanted and let the poetry do the talking rather than the production. So the sound of Infidels is sort of all over the place. He did bring in, Knopfler did, Sly and Robbie for a reggae-style rhythm section, and that very much influenced what Dylan was doing on a lot of the album. So he does get some credit there. And we credit you on Dave's Gone By for listening to this radio program. It's 12:09 in the afternoon, Mountain Time, here in Greeley, Colorado, at the University of Northern Colorado. Unfortunately, as I said from the very beginning, if you are listening to this show, it's in our archives because our stream at the radio station is completely down, hoping that will be fixed within the next 2 weeks before we're back on the air again. But we are doing a live broadcast here, and it is in the archives at davesgoneby.com, davesgoneby.com, as are all our other archives going all the way back to when we started this program in October of 2002. Wow, it's almost amazing to say that now. Have this little show on a commercial Long Island station, 11 o'clock at night, Sunday nights, man, in 2002, and we did it, and it was great fun, but then it's evolved and changed and brought things back and let things go, and now it is what it is. It's Dave's Gone By. It's a mix of comedy, talk, music, humor. It's 12:11 in the afternoon, Mountain Time, and we also always pay tribute to the folks who have appeared on the show in months and years past. We call them the Friends of the Neighborhood. We're proud to have had them on, and we're proud when they go on to do other things, and you can see them do more movies and record album, or more music releases, let's put it that way, to be up with the times, and writing more books, So it gives us credit to have had the good taste to have these folks on the radio in the first place. So, for example, this week's Friends of the Neighborhood include, I mentioned her before, our friend Judy Collins. She's going to be appearing at the Kupferberg Center of Queens College in Flushing, New York. That is tonight. The one and only, the legendary Judy Collins. I went to see her a few months ago. She played in Greeley at our local Civic Center, and she was really still good. I can't say she was always perfect, and there were times when her voice did go a bit off key or got a little pitchy or kind of, I wouldn't say shrieky, but really shrill. But other times, she still sure sounded like Judy Collins to me. So go see her. She's at Queens College, the Kupferberg Center. That is tonight. Also, tonight, you have 2 opportunities to see our cabaret friend Mark Nadler playing at Pangea on 2nd Avenue in New York City. For more information, pangeanyc.com. And then on Sunday, John Gorka is going to be in our neck of the woods here in Colorado. He'll be in Carbondale at Steve's Guitars, John Gorka, on Sunday. Also, starting Sunday and then going into Monday as well, Anita Gillette and Harold Sanditon are going to be doing a cabaret show called Harold and Broad at the Metropolitan Room in Manhattan. And then on Monday, a big thing for the Actors Fund and the Phyllis Newman Women's Health Initiative, a big benefit that they're having on Broadway at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater. They're calling it Nothing Like a Dame, and they've been doing it for a bunch of years. It's devoted to women, and it raises money for all these women's issues. And among the people who will be appearing are Bernadette Peters and Kelly O'Hara, who has not been on this show, but I did interview her for a magazine a couple of weeks ago, and that was delightful. Who else is going to be there? Judy Kuhn and Marin Mazzi is going to be honored there, but also part of the group, our friend of the neighborhood, Julie Holston, will be there for Nothing Like a Dame. That is happening on Monday. Then, starting on Tuesday and running through early December at the La Jolla Playhouse in California, Daphne Rubin Vega is starring in a play called Miss You Like Hell, written by Chiara Alegria Hudis. So if you want to see our friend Daphne from Rent, you can see her on the West Coast from this week through early December. You got one more shot this weekend to see the Mint Theater's very acclaimed revival of A Day by the Sea, an old play by N.C. Hunter, staged by our pal Austin Pendleton, that is off-Broadway at the Samuel Beckett Theater on Theater Row. Spamilton by Gerard Alessandrini. That's at the Triad Theater through the end of the year, and I'll bet you that'll extend. Fiddler on the Roof. That will close at the end of the year. It features our friend of the neighborhood, Danny Burston, playing Tevye, and of course the lyrics are by our pal Sheldon Harnick. Aladdin has music by our friend Alan Menken. That's at the New Amsterdam Theater. Beautiful, the Carole King story. That's at the Stephen Sondheim Theater and features a book by Douglas McGrath. Glenn Slater wrote the lyrics for the big hit School of Rock, the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, where he's back in really fine form. School of Rock, that is at the Winter Garden Theater. Do go see it. It's a really, really fun show. And then Waitress at the Brooks Atkinson Theater, featuring a featured performance by Dakin Matthews. Off-Broadway, Andrew Goffman in his 8th season as the Accidental Pervert. Also, Jim Caruso's Cast Party, Monday nights at Birdland. It's kind of an open mic featuring stars and chorus people, and also, I don't know if it's people off the street. They tend to be cabaret and Broadway and off-Broadway insiders doing the Monday night Cast Party at Birdland in Manhattan. Reminding you to check StageBuddy.com for stuff that you want to do in Manhattan on a particular evening. Evan Seplow founded that fine website. Phil Mushnick writes about coverage of sports in media for the New York Post. You're going to want to read him there twice a week. And then moving to TV, you've got our friend Eva Heineman doing a theater review show called High Drama on Manhattan Cable. That's on the MNN network, and it's also streaming, as is Two on the Aisle, co-hosted by Charlie Gross and Leslie Hoban Blake. Check out mnn.org for all the information. Dr. Demento still doing new Dr. Demento shows at drdemento.com. Mary Sheng Barnage writing about Chicago theater for TotalTheater.com, as well as Windy City Times in Chicago. And finally, our friend Bob Cudmore doing podcasts and lots of stories and nonfiction writings about upstate New York history. For more information, go to bobcudmore.com. Cudmore. And those, my friends, are the friends of the neighborhood for this Saturday, October 22nd, 2016, our 579th episode of Dave's Gone By, calling it INTERNOT because, well, the internet was down for thousands and millions of people all yesterday, and our internet is up here at the radio station, but we have terrible streaming problems that we've been having recurrently for the past couple of weeks. So we're calling again this episode INTERNOT. But we're still doing the show, still playing the music, and very happy to do our In the News Saturday SEGUE, which is a few songs that we like to play for the various different reasons that are happening in news and current events. So your job is to listen to the song, enjoy the song, I hope, but also figure out, why is Dave playing that? What happened in the world at large, in news and society and politics, or what might be coming up in the week ahead? What made Dave play that song? So it's kind of a puzzle and a quiz, and also a way to listen to some really enjoyable music. For example, this humorous tune by where's her? I lost her name. By Debbie Smith, when she was part of the Four Bitchin Babes on their album Gabby Road.
It was late, I couldn't sleep. I tried reading and counting sheep. I went to the fridge to get a bite. I saw the computer in the pale moonlight, so I decided to go online to pass away a little time. How could I know a little restlessness would turn my life into such a mess? Lost in cyberspace, roaming online from place to place. Yes, I know, I really flipped. I'm trapped inside a computer chip, lost in cyberspace. So much to do, so much to learn. A new distraction at every turn. I go from one window to the next, a window peeper. My life's a wreck. I've been here so long that I forget. Is there life outside the internet? Forget Charlie and the NTA. Me, I wander the information highway. Will she ever return? No, she'll never return. She's got miles of files to burn. She'll be surfing forever on the World Wide Web. She's a woman who will never return. I met the man of my dreams when the love connection came on screen. He's an unbelievable typesetter. I love the fonts in his email letters. He's bold, italic. I like his style till I realize with a fading smile, how will we ever meet face to face, trapped here inside cyberspace, lost in cyberspace, roaming online from place to place. Yes, I know, I'm a slug. I just need someone to pull the plug. I'm lost in cyberspace. If you're thinking of travel, take my advice. Go on a cruise, get a real life. Whatever you do, don't go online, or likely you'll be doing time. Whoa, whoa, lost in cyberspace. And now there's more bad news that I must face. I know I'm lost, as you can get, 'cause I met Elvis on the internet. I'm lost in cyberspace.
Folks.
What you got?
Doctor home.
No, he's not.
When's he back?
An hour or so. The heck is that?
Well, I don't know.
What in the world?
Where did you find?
What is he doing?
He's out of his mind.
Is he in pain?
Is he insane?
Maybe and possibly. Let me explain.
No!
Oh, heck, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But that boy was hopping like a scalded dog.
Boy.
Maybe. Frankly, that's why I'm here. I figured maybe we need a veterinarian to sort this out. I'm hoping Dr. Parker will know what to do. I didn't know where else to take him.
Mom, Shelley, quiet.
Can't go to jail, he's underage.
Mom, Shelley, quiet.
Folks up at the med school bet they'd carve him up or bake him. I'd send the FBI a page, but I don't think we're at that stage. So, here he is, folks, he's all yours. Couldn't leave him out of doors, creeping on all fours. We could always shoot him, but that don't seem right to me. And I can't rid myself of my Christian charity.
Can we see him? Shelley, get away.
You listen to your mother, Shelley. You don't want to be near it if it wakes up. It bit one of the Taylor kids.
Shelley, don't stare. Shelley, don't poke. What is this, Sheriff? Some kind of sick joke? Mommy's so gross. Mom, can he stay?
Shell, I was hoping you'd see it that way. I'm coming up for re-election.
Mom, Shelley, quiet.
I gotta bring this thing to heel.
Mom, Shelley, quiet.
A boy with his complexion's gonna meet with some objections. I think I know how folks will feel once they hear this bat child is for real.
It's a bat child? Mom, we gotta keep it! All right, Sheriff. Dr. Parker has some cages. I'll take care of the boy for you.
Oh, that's great, Meredith. I can't thank you enough for the favor. And if he turns into a pain, call me. I got stun guns and a chain.
Whoa! Oh!
So here he is, folks. He's all yours.
I know, but Mom...
Couldn't leave him out of doors, creeping on all fours.
What's wrong?
We may have to put him down, but now we'll wait and see. We can't rid ourselves of our Christian charity. So here he is, folks. He's all yours. Couldn't leave him out of doors, creeping on all fours. Those thunderclouds are closing in. We can't just let him be. We can't rid ourselves of our Christian charity. We can't rid ourselves of our Christian charity.
Mom, Shelley, quiet.
John. Shh. Paul. Shh. George. Shh. Ringo. Shh. Dylan. Shh. I'm the meanie. I'm the meanie. I am evil, wicked, and stingy. I'm the meanie. I'm the meanie. The Beatles talk about me in their movie. I once had a girlfriend named Sue. I took her out to the zoo. She told me she was pregnant, so I hit her in the stomach. I'm the meanie. I'm the meanie. I am evil, wicked, and stingy. I'm the meanie. I'm the meanie. The Beatles talk about me in their movie. I once had a girlfriend named Tina. I took her out to the movies. She told me she didn't love me anymore, so I put popcorn all over her face. I'm the meanie. I'm the meanie. I am evil, wicked, and stingy. I'm the meanie. I'm the meanie. The Beatles talk about me in their movie.
Product, I am a symbol of endless, hopeless, fruitless, aimless games. I'm a glossy package on the market shelf. My contents aren't fit for human consumption. I could tragically injure your perfect health. My ingredients will seize up your body's function. I'm the dirt that everyone walks on. I am the orphan nobody wants. I am the stair cart that everyone walks on. I am the leopard nobody wants to touch. I am a sample, I am a scapegoat of useless, futureless, endless, mindless ideas. I'm a number on the paper you file away. I'm a portfolio you stick in the drawer. I'm the fool you try to scare when you say we know all about you, of that you can be sure. Well, I don't want your crazy system. I don't want to be on your files. Your temptations, I try to resist them, 'cause I know what hides beneath your smiles. I am a topic, I am a subject for useless, futureless, endless, mindless debates. You think up ways that you can hide me from the naive eyes of your figurehead. But don't you find that it ain't easy? Wouldn't you love to see me dead? Your answer is to give me treatment for crying out when you give me pain. Leave me with no possible remnant. You poke your knives into my brain. I am an an example. I'm no hero of the great, intelligent, magnificent human race. I'm part of the race that kills for possessions, part of the race that's wiping itself out. I'm part of the race that's got crazy obsessions, like locking people up, not letting them out. I hate the living dead and their work in factories. They go like sheep to their production lines. They live on illusions, don't face the realities. All they live for is that big blue sign. It says, Ford. I'm bored. I am a product, I am a symbol of endless, hopeless, fruitless, aimless games. I am a sample, I am a scapegoat of useless, futureless, endless, mindless ideas. I am a topic, I am a subject for useless, futureless, endless, mindless debates. I am an example, I'm no hero of the great, intelligent, magnificent human race. The great, intelligent, magnificent human race.
Very cool song there from Jeffrey Lewis and his album 12 Crass Songs. There was some crassness to that pretty number. Song called End Result, which ends our Saturday segue of songs in the news. So your job, had you chosen to accept it, was to hear the songs that we played in that Saturday segue and then try to connect, hey, what did that have to do with what was going on in the world at large over the past few days? For example, that song was titled End Result from Jeffrey Lewis, and we peg that to Donald Trump saying in that last debate that they had a few nights ago with Hillary Clinton, and, it was a very substantive debate for the most part, and they were really talking about policy and knocking each other down, but on ideas and issues rather than, for the most part, personal attacks, and they still let some slip here and there. And then the whole tenor and tone of the debate was hijacked again by Donald Trump by just saying when Chris Wallace, who actually did a really fine job as moderator, I mean, I know he's a Fox guy, and I know he's going to be on the conservative side of things, but he was a very, very fair, reasonable moderator. And Wallace asked Trump a question that said, if you've been saying all these weeks, it's rigged, it's a rigged system, don't believe anything, Hillary's crooked, the DNC is crooked, and there's certainly realistic stuff to all of that. But Wallace said, look, when the people vote on November 8th, when all the tallies come in, are you going to accept the will of the people? Are you going to accept the decision cast by the voters of America? And Donald Trump said, I reserve the right not to answer yet. And Wallace pressed him on that and said, well, I mean, it's a vote. It's an election. You may not like the result, but will you accept the end result? And Trump said, I'll keep you in suspense, which, of course, any good that Trump had done prior in that debate, anything else that he had said there, and any case that he had built for his primacy on trade or on bringing down the deficit or in scrapping Obamacare and doing something else, or whatever else was being talked about Syria and Aleppo, was out there. But the news cycle for the next 48 hours became about, oh my God, Trump isn't even going to gracefully resign if he loses. Of course, he did have that funny, brilliant line, which he should have said in the debate right there. That he should have said, of course I'll accept the results of the election if I win, and it would have gotten a big laugh, and even Wallace would have cracked a chuckle, and then would have pivoted the other way. And then as someone pointed out a day or two ago, that Trump eventually did answer the question. He said, look, if it's not a particularly close election, of course he's going to gracefully step aside, and et cetera, and so forth. He doesn't feel like he's going to lose. You don't go into this race thinking or hoping you're going to lose. So he's not going to say that. But he's just saying, hey, if it's as tight as he thinks it's going to be, if you discount the polling numbers and the way those have shifted in the past 2 weeks since the van revelations came out about Trump. If you figure that the polling numbers are really a lot closer than they're actually showing on TV, which may be true, then it might be a very, very close election, like something that we had back in 2000, and certainly back when, especially in the year 2000, when George Bush was coronated president over Al Gore. And Al Gore did not immediately accept the results. He sort of resigned first, and he said, you know what, let's recount these things. And then it went to Florida, and it became a real national... It would be comedy if it weren't such a disgrace. But, Al Gore reserved the right to say, it's so close, let's recount these things. So if that happens again, Trump reserves the right to say, let's count these over. Let's make sure that all the mail ballots are correct and the polling places don't have hanging chads or whatever the hell they do now. So, but again, Trump just can't help himself with throwing that fly in the ointment that turns over the ointment jar and the goo gets all over everyone next to him. So we played End Result by Jeffrey Lewis, which also happens to have a line in there about endless, mindless debates and the race and stuff. So it couldn't be more appropriate to play as we head towards the end of the election campaign. But we played some other songs for this past week, songs in the news. For example, we started up top with Four Bitchin' Babes doing Cyberspace, a song by Debbie Smith there from the Bitchin' Babes' album Gabby Road. Has to do with what we were talking about this whole time, this episode of our show called INTERNOT, which means that half the internet of the country was down for a while yesterday, and we're not even streaming here on our radio station today. But we played the song Cyberspace, written by Debbie Smith and sung by her with the Four Bitchin' Babes, because Twitter and Netflix and Reddit and Amazon and many other sites went down for quite a while on Friday. And it was hackers flooding the intermediate websites with too much traffic than they could handle, shutting them down, as opposed to tweaking or doing malware or something like that. Anyway, something more to worry about in this wonderful world we live, cyberspace. After that, we played a track from the off-Broadway 2001 cast album of Bat Boy, a song called Christian Charity, which we played because both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton appeared the day after their third debate, and still acrimonious debate. They appeared in a somewhat more friendly way at the Al Smith Catholic Charities benefit dinner. And they both, certainly Trump went off the rails much more than she did. He had the crowd. He had him. He opened pretty strong, and then he had that killer line. I don't know who his speechwriter was, but $50,000 bonus for this person who came up with a line about Melania, where Trump said, the media is just so biased against my campaign. I've said this so many times, but the media just has it in for me and everyone connected with me. For example, way back in the day, what's her name? Michelle Obama gave a speech, and the media just loved her and went crazy and said it's the most amazing and wonderful speech ever. My wife Melania makes the same exact speech, and suddenly there's a fire, and the whole crowd erupted. The cardinal was laughing, Hillary was laughing, everybody was truly laughing and applauding. It was first of all, for Trump it was self-deprecating, even though it was deprecating his wife rather than him. But still, it was a moment to savor for him, and he has those, and a sense of humor. But then he started slogging away, punching at Hillary, saying bad things about her that weren't even phrased particularly as jokes. She got a little nasty too, a little nastier than necessary, but I think she carried the day, as she tends to do. She's really good at this. We don't think of her, perhaps, as a likable person, as a public speaker, but she has a poised, measured, statesmanly way of speaking and speechifying, and even doing comedy speeches in a benefit dinner like the Al Smith thing. So ultimately, even though he got the biggest laugh of the night, for sure, she, She pushed the insult button maybe one or two times too many, and was allowed to because of what he said about her. But for the most part, I think she won that night as well at the Al Smith dinner. But either way, we played Christian Charity, a song from the 2001 cast album of the musical Bat Boy. And that was followed, sadly and unfortunately, with Wildman Fischer, from the Wildman Fischer compilation collection, The Fischer King, him doing one of his classics of a sort, I'm the Meany. And that, alas, is dedicated to actor-comedian Kevin Meany, who died at age 60 just yesterday. He is kind of known in his stand-up act for going, well, that's not right. That was his tagline, right? That's not right. He also was in the movie Big. He basically came to the fore after paying his dues in stand-up clubs when he got an HBO special back in 1986, and that launched him a bit further. It's kind of like that album did for Ted Hawkins that I was talking about. This was for Meany. He got the HBO special. It did well. Then he got on The Tonight Show a bunch of times, did a lot of TV here and there. He was in Hairspray for a couple of years on Broadway, so he had a pretty big role there. And then, but the personal life, had ups and downs too. He was married twice. First marriage was annulled very quickly. Second marriage was okay. Had a daughter out of that. Then divorced. And in 2008, he came out as gay. I did not even know that, which was kind of a brave thing to do. And also brave, and this I appreciate as a fellow toiler on stages, is that Meany, one of the things he would do in his act and stand-up is he would save some kind of weak, untested jokes for the end of the act, which is where, actually, most people want to finish strong. If you're a comedian, you start really strong, then you work your way through material, and then somewhere in there, when you know you've got the crowd, you work on stuff you're not sure about, and you test them a little bit, because you know you've got the knockout punch to win them back in the last 5 minutes and get your applause and get them to buy your latest download and stuff and your T-shirts. Meany, clever man, he would save some weak stuff towards the very end of the act, and then start singing a song about, I don't care. I don't care that you didn't find it that funny. I don't care. It's my stuff, my life, my act. I'm having fun. And apparently that worked really, really well. So brave move by Kevin Meany there. But unfortunately, we did lose him. There's no word of, or at least in my notes, maybe there's more information as to what killed him at age 60. He was found on, I believe on tour in a hotel room. Maybe I can kind of look that up if I can pull this microphone over a little bit more and see if there's any more information as to the passing of Kevin Meany. Was it drugs? Was it a heart attack? He didn't seem to be in the best physical shape, but what comedian is? Let's see. Page 6. Probably the New York Post will tell us the down and dirty, if there is any. He died at 60 years old. It was yesterday. And he, in his upstate New York home. So he was home, not in the middle of a tour. He was discovered Friday. The cause of death, apparently from now, remains unknown. Jim Gaffigan tweeted, R.I.P. Kevin Meany, rest in peace. What a joy it was to watch you destroy an audience. Your fun was contagious. And Judd Apatow, who has been one of the people changing the nature of movie comedy for the past decade or so, said Kevin Meany was as funny as they get and the nicest man. He could make you lose your mind laughing. So he bid farewell to him by playing, well, the guy who kind of did lose his mind, Wildman Fischer, doing I'm the Meany. And then we followed that with End Result on Dave's Gone By as we end the show here on this Saturday, October 22nd, 2016, our 579th program. For this one and all the rest of them, please go to our website, davesgoneby.com. Drop me an email if you have thoughts about the program, davesgoneby@aol.com. Check our Facebook page, Radio Dave Lefkowitz. If that's too much to remember, just know that you can go to davesgoneby.com, find the logo for Facebook, click there, and then please like us and follow us on Facebook. We spent much of the summer trying to get to 3,000 followers on our Facebook page. And it took us a while, but we got there. And now we're taking it incrementally. I'd like to get to 3,100 by, I was saying the end of this month. I don't think that's going to happen. We're at about 3,050. But if you have friends who might like the show, if you have people who might like what I do, please get them on our Facebook page, Radio Dave Lefkowitz, for the Dave's Gone By radio show. Well, I will not be here next week. I will be in New York at a radio conference and also seeing, as I said, a bunch of theater for you. And then, God willing, the creeks don't rise up to meet our JetBlue airplane. I'll be back, however, in 2 weeks, and maybe this website will be working, and our streaming will be working, and all the equipment will be working here in the neighborhood, because I really, really want to do a cool show when I come back for the first show in November. It'll be the one just 3 days before the 2016 elections. And I think Rabbi Saul Solomon is going to want to weigh in on the candidates. So will I. It's going to be a real election-y kind of a show, assuming we can do one 2 weeks from now. So look for that. Check my website for updates on the program. Thank you for listening. Thank you to my darling and adorable and wonderful wife, Joyce, for joining me for the first part of the show and bringing me that bagel, which I really, really needed an hour and a half ago. Thank you to Dylan Counts and the other board members that I got to see briefly last night. And they are trying. They are really trying to figure out what's been wrong at the radio station and right the ship and get the money and resources to fix things and make things good again. It won't be immediate, but I am hoping and praying, helping the little that I am able, but I wish them well, and I'm glad to see that at least they really, really do care. It just seems like nothing's getting done yet, but soon, hoping. Anyway, I hope you enjoy, by the way, the week ahead. Let's see what kind of weather I'm going to be missing while I'm away in New York. In Greeley, Colorado, right now, it's sunny and 68 degrees. You can't ask for better Colorado weather than that. 68 degrees and sunny right now, going up to a high, though, of 78 degrees later in the day. So we've still got that warm front in here, but it'll cool off a bit tonight, go down to the mid-30s, actually. And then tomorrow, still cooler, mix of sun and clouds, high of, quote-unquote, only 70 degrees. That still sounds pretty darn good to me. And then Monday, I'm not seeing, let me see, I hope there's no precipitation happening. The humidity's building a little bit, but no rain in the forecast or anything for the next couple of days. And actually Monday will get kind of warm again, high of 75 degrees towards the late afternoon. And then even the low will be in the mid-40s. So that'll be a nice little warm front happening between Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, back down to a low of 71 degrees, but still great. Still mix of sun and clouds. Then Wednesday, a lovely high of 73 degrees and sunny. Thursday, back up to 75. Friday, back up to 74. And again, the lows just cresting in the low to mid-40s. So even though we're heading towards Halloween, man, we're into late October. The first year I moved to Greeley, Colorado with my wife, we had a monster cold, we had a snowstorm followed by a big bad cold front, and that happened in the last week of October. And it was nasty, man. It snowed, it piled on like half a foot, and then it froze up for 3 days, which meant that we had snow and ice on the ground up until April. The same snow had not melted or gone away in certain patches and areas. It was a relatively tough winter that we had here, just because it was slippery and you had to be careful. And Joyce and I didn't even have a car back then, so we were walking everywhere. It was annoying. But that's not going to happen this coming week. It's going to be gorgeous weather this entire week here in Greeley, Colorado, with the highs almost every day in the low or mid-70s, and the low never scraping below mid to upper 30s in the overnights. So definitely enjoy this very, very nice extended bit of almost Indian summer type autumn. To me and to you, that feels like kind of a sweet thing. Haven't really played this one in a while. We've been using other other songs to end the show, because they've been related to stuff that we've been doing in the show. But every once in a while, it's nice to get back to the Water Boys and do the song that we ended our very, very first program with. The Water Boys doing the Van Morrison tune, Sweet Thing, because it's a sweet thing, even when things aren't quite working, to be able to do this radio program for you. So I'll see you, heaven willing, in 2 weeks with another episode of the show. Until then, be good and gone by.
I will stroll a merry way and jump the hedges first. Drink the clear, clean water for to quench my thirst. And I will watch the ferry boats and they'll get high against the blue ocean, against tomorrow's sky. And I will walk and talk in gardens all wet with rain. And never, ever, ever, ever get so old again. Ooh, sweet thing. Yeah, 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 sweet thing. Na, na, na.